Good evening, and welcome to BB&T Point for a big-time Liberty Division Series between the High Point Rockers and the Long Island Ducks. I am Kevin McMahon. I'm joined by Kendrick Fruits. And Kendrick, this is a really important one here for both teams. Only 6 more games between these two in the rest of the regular season. 3 here in High Point, 3 in Long Island, New York. These teams are separated by a half game when it comes to first place in the Liberty Division. So a chance for the Rockers to regain the lead in first place and then extend it a little bit here with 3 games, or vice versa. The Ducks they're in first place by a half game. They can use this to try to extend the lead and create some space between themselves and the High Point Rockers. So really important game. You can feel how important the importance and the intensity of this one. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and these are 2 teams that are coming into this series really on 2 different trajectories right now. The Rockers have lost 3 of their last 4. They're 5-5 in the last 10 games. On the other side, the Ducks come in having just swept the York Revolution, including a doubleheader on Wednesday. So they're coming in here red hot. So, maybe the Rockers don't have the momentum coming into this series that they would like to have. But if there's any way to get momentum, it's having some really good pitching outings and having some guys that can kind of reverse the trend. And that's exactly what they have this weekend in Michael Bowden, Dominic DeMasi, and Joe Van Meter. The Rockers coming off, like I said, they've lost 3 of their last 4. Michael Bowden has a .73 ERA pitching after a team loss. So if there's anybody that can be the stopper and turn things around, it's Michael Bowden tonight.
He's outstanding, and Rockers fans should be excited that he is on the mound and that they get to see him again here at BB&T Point. He is the record holder for the most strikeouts in a single game, the Rocker record, and had an immaculate inning not so long ago here for the High Point Rockers. The first one in Rockers history and the only one this year in the Atlantic League. So a great pitcher and someone the Rockers can really rally around tonight. And like you said, not only do they have him going, but they're going to have Joe Van Meter and Dominic DeMasi. I don't know where you would order them, but these are the top 3 guys in this rotation. Whoever you want to decide is 1, 2, and 3, that's fine, because guess what? The separation is very close. They're all, in my opinion, they're all tied for number 1. So these guys would be hands down the ace in any rotation. To have all 3 of them together, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think that this is going to be what we usually see here, and that's a pitcher's duel. But I want to just highlight the hitting just for a moment. Even though the Rockers lost 3 out of 4 on the road this past weekend to the Bees, the hitting was still, for the most part, pretty evident as well. Hector Gomez continues to swing a hot bat. 2 more home runs. He has 9 now on the year, including 5 so far.
He's coming for that home run lead.
He's charging. He's got 5 in the month of August right now. But the big thing is that even though the Rockers dropped 3 of those 4 games, it was not necessarily for a lack of offense. The Rockers took leads late into those games, and they were let down a little bit by a usually stellar bullpen. Had a couple of blown leads late in the games over this past week, and that's something that's very uncharacteristic of this bullpen, and I expect them to bounce back in a big way, especially now that they're at home, and we know how good this bullpen is, and we know that that's not something that they'll do a whole lot of, so hopefully they got it out of their system and they're ready to rock and roll here tonight.
The Long Island Ducks are celebrating their 20th season as a High Point, or as a Atlantic League team. So pretty incredible. The High Point Rockers are in their very first season. So 2 different ends of the spectrum here. You got the Ducks, who have a lot of tradition and a lot of experience as a franchise in their 20th season. The Rockers in their very first season. But the Rockers actually own the series against the Ducks 9-4. So they're looking to keep their winning ways going tonight and try to win that second half. That's what it's all about. And to set the scene for how important tonight's games are, or tonight's game and this weekend's games, this series, we got to talk to the manager of the High Point Rockers, Jamie Keefe. And he really put into perspective how important this series is and drops some great gems about some of the things the Rockers need to do well, and just gives really the keys to this series. So a very insightful, very entertaining interview with the always great Jamie Keefe. So let's go to that right now. Here is myself and the manager, Jamie Keefe, earlier today. Hey, Rockers fans, Kevin McMahon here with the manager, Jamie Keefe, and he joins us before a very important series against the Long Island Ducks. The last time the Ducks will come to High Point this year during the regular season, and then you'll see them again for 3 more in Long Island. So only 6 more games against the Ducks, and you guys are very close when it comes to the first place race for the Liberty Division. Obviously, we all know how important these games are, but for maybe the fans who are, who don't maybe know in their first year of being fans in the Atlantic League, how important are these games?
Oh, they're very important. Obviously, these are interdivision games, so these last few have been as well. And going into this series, last weekend at Long Island was huge for us because we took all 3 and kept ourselves a little bit ahead of them. Now we're neck and neck going into for the second half going into this series. This is a big series for us. Really we need to continue to do what we're doing at home, and that's win series. We need to win every series we can right now, and we struggled doing that in New Britain. But right now our focus is on what's going to happen tonight, and that's going out and playing the Ducks and beat them through 9 innings.
And let's touch on what you just said about the way you guys played in Long Island. You picked up 3 right there. To that point, you guys have the series against the Ducks 9-4 is what it is right now. So in a very first year against a team that's been in this league for 20 years, the Rockers have had a lot of success against them. What do you credit that to, and how can you build off of the sweep on the road against Long Island?
I don't know how to really judge it. The only thing I know is that we like playing there. I think we're 5-1 at Long Island, so that's a good thing. There's not too many teams that can say that. We enjoy playing there. I think a lot of homegrown boys, a lot of families come and watch the guys. So I think that's easy to jump on and have a few extra fans in the stands. Never hurts. But this is a really good club, and what a lot of people don't know is I learned a little bit of my craft in managing from the guy that's in the other dugout. I played for Wally for a year and have looked up to him for a long, long time. So we have a lot of the same ideas and kind of go about our business the same way. And I certainly don't have anything up my sleeve against him right now. He's always got something up his sleeve, so I've been waiting for it. So we'll see what happens. But excited to be here to play these guys again tonight and have a nice head-to-head for the next 3 days.
Let's talk about the pitching. Rocker fans and baseball fans in general are going to get to see 3 of the best pitchers in this league this series, and they all, in my opinion, happen to be on your roster. You got Bowden, and then Van Meter, and then Demasi going, not in that order, I don't think, but all 3 of you guys will be seen. How much confidence do you have, or how much, maybe it's hard to be comfortable against a team like the Ducks, but, how much confidence do you have coming into a game when those are your 3 guys that you have going?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're super confident with what we have on the mound each night right now. Even if you look over this last, I would say these last 40 games, our pitching's been outstanding. And it's kept us in games because we certainly haven't had the offense the second half that we had the first half. So we have to go out each and every night and not make mistakes. And if we play good defense and we run the bases smart, we'll stay in the ball game. If we make a mistake on either side of that, if we make a defensive mistake and or a mistake on the bases, it tends to bite us a little bit. So, we just have to go out and do our thing, and that's throw strikes. Don't give extra. Let extra guys get on base by walks. If we can limit the walks, our pitchers can pitch with anybody.
And last question, there's a lot of things you can compliment this team on in the first year, but one of the number one things that jumps out to me is the way you guys treat every game the exact same. It doesn't matter what kind of game it is, but when the lights are the brightest, the Rockers really seem to come and play and get those big wins and have those big moments when they need them. What do you credit that to? And was there any extra message tonight to the guys, or just business as usual?
It's business as usual after 12 hours on a bus. There's not much you could say. It's be ready and go out there and play and let your ability take over on a day like this. That's what happens. There's not mentally you're a little bit fried upstairs. You just got to go out and each and every pitch you just got to stay focused and make the plays. They're coming off of a long bus ride as well. They had an 11-hour bus ride. We had a 12 or 13-hour bus ride. We're happy to be home, but I think you ask about flipping the lights on or when the stage is big. Right now every game's big for us. We are we're trying to get to the playoffs. That is our job, is to go out each and every night and for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, stay as focused as we can. We're not going to win every game. We know that. And the other, there's times where you play a great game and the other team just plays better. There's nothing you can do about that. Those are the things that we can control and things that we can't. If we can stay in control of what we can control, and that is, I just said it, keeping extra guys off of base by walking guys, making physical errors that shouldn't be made. Physical errors are going to happen, but the mental error, those things, if we just stay pitch to pitch, stay in a moment, this team is very strong, very mentally strong, and extremely focused, and they're going to go out and do the same thing every single night. And you got to get 27 outs against us before we get 27 outs against you. And I like my guys at any time, but I like them. Come that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, we always tend to give you a little bit of a headache. And if we can continue doing that and continue to leaving it all out on the field each and every night, we're going to have a successful season.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good luck.
Thanks, bud.
This is
Huge thanks to Jamie Keefe, the manager of the High Point Rockers. We love every time we get a chance to talk to him. He's always insightful and gives us plenty of information that we are excited to give to you and use throughout the broadcast. He is outstanding, and he gave a great interview, gave us a lot of great information, and you can tell that he was ready to go and understands how important picking up 3 games or winning the series at least would be for the High Point Rockers.
Yeah, and especially not just the fact that this could be a battle for first place here tonight, but also just knowing, as far as morale is concerned, this is a team that just lost 3 out of 4, and he knows that the stars are aligning for this to be a huge series for the Rockers going forward. And as far as the standings go, I'm not trying to make more out of this than is necessary because there's still 30-some-odd games left in the season, but this is a huge series, and we said this might be the biggest one of the year, and as long as the Rockers are in contention, every series turns out to be the biggest one of the year, but this one might really be it.
Well, teams always talk about when you get close to the playoffs, Kendrick, teams always talk about, if they can, how happy. Let's say they're able to control their own destiny. Teams talk about how exciting that is and how glad they are that that's the case. The Rockers have a chance to control what happens in these next 3 games. We always are scoreboard watching the Patriots and the Ducks, see what they're doing. Guess what? No scoreboard watching on the Ducks tonight because they're here. So you can control if the Ducks lose and if you win today, because if you win, that means the Ducks lost. So the Rockers will be focused on doing that, and it's an opportunity to pick up 3 wins and build that lead before they go see the Ducks again on the road. But winning series at home is so important. You heard Jamie talk about it, and you have a chance to do that. And you said maybe the biggest series of the year. It probably is.
Well, let me ask you, because I don't know, being new to the league, is it between let's say there's 2 different first half winners. So let's say Long Island wins the first half, High Point wins the second half. Is it the team with the best overall record that hosts that first round between them?
Put me on the spot. I'm not sure. I don't know the definition.
Well, here's why.
So I would venture a guess that you're right.
And
yes.
Here's why I bring this up. Those 2 teams are separated by 1 in the win column right now. Long Island has 60. The Rockers have 59. So if that is indeed the case, if the Rockers can come back and win the second half, the Rockers and Ducks are essentially playing for home field advantage right now.
Right. And so the Rockers are trying to do a couple things here. They're trying to make sure they get in, and then they want to win as many as possible because they'd love the chance to host. And if you win more, they want to win as many as possible, but they'd love to win more than the Ducks because that would put them in first place, put them in the playoffs, and it would probably, we'll double-check the rule, but it'll probably give them home field advantage. You also got to keep an eye on the Somerset Patriots, even though so far they haven't been that big of an issue for the Rockers. because they've had some injuries and guys contracts being purchased. They're 5.5 back right now. But you want to talk about something that's really changed. New Britain is in the conversation now as well after a sweep against the Rockers.
Yeah, the Rockers did squeak one of those 4 games
I'm
out
sorry, yeah,
against New
the
Britain,
3 out of 4, they won 3 in a row on them.
But
so,
you're
yeah,
absolutely right.
Winning 3 out of 4.
You're absolutely right, and the Bees are. I'm looking right here at their record, 13-19. They're only 4 games out. The battle for the Liberty division is tightening up again.
Rockers and Ducks. It's coming up. It's going to be a big one. It's kicking off a 3-game series. And before we get to the baseball, we got the national anthem. So we'll go for that right now. Then when we come back, we got Atlantic League Baseball, the High Point Rockers, and the Long Island Ducks.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A great version of the national anthem here at the ballpark, and now we are ready to get going here at BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you as the High Point Rockers host the Long Island Ducks. The Ducks, the first half champion in the Atlantic League. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup. It's going to be Michael Bowden on the mound for the Rockers, and we'll introduce you to him in just a moment. But let's start with who is coming up tonight for the Long Island Ducks. Leading off, it'll be Darby Myers, the left fielder. Second, it'll be Ray Fuentes, the DH. He wears number 15. Third, it'll be L.J. Mazzilli, number 2, the right fielder. Fourth, it'll be number 37, Hector Sanchez, the catcher. Fifth, it'll be number 21, Debinson Romero, the third baseman. Sixth, it'll be number 29, Daniel Fields, the center fielder. Seventh, it'll be number 9, John Apostolo. Eighth, it'll be Clint Freeman. And ninth, it'll be Vladimir Frias. And then on the mound for the High Point Rockers tonight, it'll be Michael Bowden, a former major leaguer and a guy who has been pretty successful in a High Point Rocker uniform so far, Kendrick.
Yeah, he has a losing record, 1-2, but a 2.03 earned run average. He's pitched fantastically so far, coming off of a loss. His last 2 starts, actually, so slightly uncharacteristic, if you will, but 38 strikeouts in 31 innings. He's been dominant at home. I mentioned 0.73 ERA when pitching after a Rockers loss, so we expect to see Bowden bounce back from his last start, and with him, so will the Rockers.
We are ready for baseball here at BB&T Point. Bowden on the mound, Myers at the plate. The first pitch from BB&T Point is in there for a strike. Let's rock. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits here with you on speaker and on YouTube tonight. We thank you so much for joining us. Here is the 0-1 from Michael Bowden. Myers hits this one foul, so it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Myers a .261 hitter with a couple of home runs, but he gets on base at a pretty decent rate. So certainly expect him to make contact here. Not really a guy who strikes out a whole lot.
The 0-2 from Bowden. That one came up to Myers, and he steps out of the box. A 1-2 count. The 1-2, a big swing from Myers. He misses. Strike 3. Bowden starts off with a strikeout.
Well, we mentioned his last time out wasn't Bowden's best outing. He only struck out 3 in that last start here. I think it was on Friday, but certainly here he starts off very sharp.
Ray Fuentes comes up to the plate here, the DH for the Ducks. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Here is the pitch from Bowden. That one in there for a strike as well, an 0-1 count.
Fuentes, a former major leaguer with the Padres, Royals, and Diamondbacks. So far this year, he's having a pretty solid year, 239, but 8 home runs and 30 driven in.
The 0-1, that one just a bit high, so that's a ball, 2-1.
In fact, when he was with the Padres, was an organizational all-star in 2011 and 2013, so certainly a guy who has been able to get it done at various levels of the minor leagues.
The pitch from Bowden, that one missing as well, so it's 2-1, 1 out. The 2-1, Fuentes fouls that one back, 2-2.
Looks like Bowden's going with the clean-shaven look out here today. Trying to change mojo a little bit here after a couple losses in a row.
Yeah, he was rocking some facial hair before that. Not the case today.
Baseball players are superstitious. I don't know for a fact that Bowden is, but certainly, mix it up a little bit. Try something to change your luck.
The 2-2 to Fuentes. Did he go? No, he did not. He held up. He will stay there. Lindy Hall, the third base umpire, said no, he held up, so we will reset here. A 3-2 count, 1 out. Fuentes at the plate. Bowden on the mound here in the top of the first. Here is the 3-2 from Bowden. That one just inside for ball 4, and that'll put Fuentes on first base.
Good looking pitch there. Bowden sure didn't miss by much. He turns around and looks at the middle infield and says, all right, guys, up to you now. Turn that double play.
Here comes L.J. Mazzilli, the right fielder for the Long Island Ducks. He wears number 2. He's the third batter in the lineup.
L.J. Mazzilli, a 284 hitter, 9 home runs, and 46 driven in. His father, Lee Mazzilli, of course, spent 14 years in the major leagues, was an all-star in 1979 with the New York Mets, also managed the New York Mets for a short portion of time. The Baltimore Orioles for a short portion of time.
Bowden threw over to first. Fuentes got right back to the base, so nothing going on there. An 0-1 count. 1 out in the inning. Fuentes on first, Mazzilli at the plate. Mazzilli swinging at this one, hits it into center field, and Giovanni Alfonso comes all the way over from shortstop and makes the catch for out number 2.
We talk about the defensive prowess of Giovanni Alfonso, and it's just not fair when you're an opponent that hits it anywhere in the neighborhood of Alfonso.
We talk about no man's land there, and that can happen. Balls hit right place, right time, 3 guys coming in. That's not necessarily anything wrong those guys did. It just put in the right spot, and Giovanni Alfonso tracked it and came all the way over from shortstop and makes a really tough play for the catch. That's a big out number 2. And here comes Hector Sanchez, the catcher for the Long Island Ducks. He's batting 4th, batting cleanup here tonight with a man on first. Here's the pitch to Sanchez, the first one he'll see tonight. That one's a strike. It's an 0-1 count, 2 outs.
7 home runs so far on the year for Sanchez, who's batting .255. And we talk about Asher Tolliver having a World Series ring for the Astros. Hector Sanchez has 2, and he actually played in one of them in 2012.
Sanchez hits this one into center field. It gets down for a single, and that will move Fuentes over to second base. So the 2-time World Series champ is aboard here with 2 outs.
Not a whole lot to say about that one. Just see the ball hit the ball. He lines it straight back where it came from into center field for a base hit.
That's a tough out he's a hard guy to get out there, Sanchez, and he gets on there and keeps this inning alive. And here comes Debinson Romero, a guy with power as well behind Sanchez. We talk about what a dangerous combination for any pitcher. Telvin Nash and Isaiah Tejeda were on the York Revolution. Well, this is a dangerous duo as well in Sanchez and Romero here for the Ducks. 2 men on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one is a strike, 0-1.
Historically, yes, but it's been a rough year for Romero, hitting just a .249 right now with 4 home runs. He's a guy who can hit 20 home runs, but just has not put it all together this year. Spent half of the year with the Bees. He's been with the Ducks and really struggled, hitting just .220 since joining the Ducks.
The 0-1 to Romero. He hits this one high. Will it be playable here for Matt Jones, who takes his mask off, is going to look for it at the net and makes the catch for out number 3. That'll leave 2 Ducks on base, and the Rockers get out of the inning. We're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Show Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. Stephen Cardullo will be the leadoff man here for the Rockers. Then it'll be Michael Russell, Hector Gomez third, Richie Schaefer fourth, Quincy Lattimore fifth, Miles Schroeder sixth, Jared Mitchell seventh, Giovanni Alfonso eighth, and Matt Jones will be ninth. That is your lineup there for the Rockers. The quick version. Brian Mattis on the mound here for the Long Island Ducks, the former major leaguer. He pitches the first one to Cardullo for a ball, 1-0. Kendrick, who's really sharp with his baseball and his Major League Baseball alumni, he was quick to point out to me, 2 major leaguers going at it tonight in Bowden and Mattis.
Yeah, Brian Mattis.
That one is a ball as well. 2-0 here for Cardullo.
Former number 1 pick in 2008 by the Baltimore Orioles. Spent a lot of time there in the rotation. Struggled in the rotation, was moved to the bullpen, and actually had quite a bit of success after being removed from the starting rotation in Baltimore. But comes in so far this year having just made 3 starts so far with the Ducks.
The 2-0, that's his first strike of the night. There it is, 2-1.
They've just been stretching him out. He has no record but a 2.70 ERA. They've stretched him out to 6 innings in his last start. They've been using him a lot of the way that Michael Bowden first started here with the Rockers, where they had a really limited pitch count. He should be full and ready to go tonight.
Here's the 2-1 to Cardullo. There he did. That's a strike, 2-2. There was a moment where they were looking around to see if he went or not, but he did go there, 2-2. No outs, scoreless here between the Ducks and the Rockers. The 2-2, that one outside for a ball, 3-2. The Ducks in their road grays with the orange and green numbers. Wearing the all-black hats today. And the Rockers wearing their blue with their home hats. The 3-2 to Cardullo. And that one is in there for strike 3. A strikeout for Mattis. He starts his day the same way that Bowden did, with a strikeout.
Yeah, and Mattis not really a guy that's going to amass a whole lot of strikeouts. Just 6 and 10 innings so far this year. And for his career, he's a guy that doesn't get a whole lot of strikeouts. Just 7 strikeouts, actually not 8 strikeouts per 9 innings in his major league career. So not a guy that's going to blow you away necessarily, but we'll certainly see. We've been surprised before by guys who we didn't think were power pitchers, and they picked up a big number of strikeouts. Yes, I'm looking at Darryl Thompson.
Michael Russell at the plate here. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1, 1 out in the inning.
Last thing I'll say about Mattis, he was the 4th overall pick in that draft in 2008. The 3 guys drafted ahead of him also all made the major leagues. Tim Beckham, Pedro Alvarez, and Eric Hosmer, World Series champion with the Kansas City Royals.
The 0-1, that one was high, 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. There's 1 hit in the game, courtesy of the Ducks. Here's the 1-1. Russell hits this one high, just out of the infield. A lot of Ducks are coming in on it, and it's Apostolo who is there and makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, we talk about the really nice play that Giovanni Alfonso made from shortstop. Apostolo's basically doing the exact same thing from second base, where he kind of goes out there into that no man's land and is able to snag it over his shoulder for the catch.
Hector Gomez makes his way to the plate and in the box here for the Rockers. As Kendrick talked about in the pregame, he has 9 home runs. The first pitch to Gomez, that one almost got past Sanchez there, 1-0. And he's a guy who's having a really hot August, especially when it comes to the power.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 home runs in the month of August. His average is right there on line with what you'd expect it to be. He's hitting .289, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs in just 13 games.
The 1-0, Hector Gomez fouls that one back. Sanchez takes his helmet off. Thought he might have a play on it, but that one's going to get out.
Yeah, we talked about the 5 home runs in August, but 4 of them have been since last Thursday. So basically in the last week, he's hit 4 home runs.
53 RBIs as well. He's playing really well. He's been a great third baseman all year. He's done a good job of hitting guys in. Now he's got that power coupled with it, and he is really playing well. 1-1. 2-1 count as that one misses for a ball. I know the High Point Rocker, or the Atlantic League, has a vote for Player of the Month. So far, Hector Gomez would be my choice. The 2-1 to Gomez. That one in there for a strike, 2-2.
I also love the old school no batting gloves, just a little bit of tape on his front hand, his left hand.
The 2-2, Gomez hits this one high in foul territory. Will it be playable? At the net, that one just drops down. Freeman tried to grab it.
tough thing for visiting first baseman and third baseman to feel comfortable in foul territory, making sure they can make a play on the ball, but also knowing where the boundaries are on the field. But it's something that any visiting team faces at any ballpark.
And Freeman almost made the catch there. Here's the 2-2 to Gomez. Hector Gomez hits this one foul again. 2-2, 2 outs.
Game time temperature today, 87 degrees. It'll drop down to 79 by the time we are finished here. Partly cloudy, but not expecting any rain. We should be good to go for the evening.
The 2-2 to Gomez. He foul tips this one. Hit off his leg, I believe. That one will roll down the line towards Jamie Keefe, and he's going to throw it into the crowd for a fan, which is very nice.
Looking at the list of scheduled starters, the Ducks have 2 out of their 3 are former major leaguers today and Sunday.
The 2-2 to Gomez. He takes a big swing there, and Mattis gets that one past him. 2 strikeouts in the inning for a 1-2-3 inning for the Long Island Ducks. We head now to the top of the second. We're still scoreless. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits. Daniel Fields is the batter here for the Long Island Ducks. On the mound for the High Point Rockers is number 10, Michael Bowden. We thank you so much for joining us here on Spreaker and on YouTube. Here is the first pitch to Fields, a big swing from him. He's unable to connect there. 0-1.
Daniel Fields, a career .333 hitter in the major leagues, and by that I mean he went 1 for 3 with the Tigers in 2015. Hitting .240 this year, 12 home runs, 27 RBIs. He's got power, but unfortunately for him, he hits the long ball when there's not many people on base.
That one was there for a ball, a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 from Bowden. Gets another one past Fields there, makes it 1-2.
I say unfortunately for him, that might be something that the Rockers would be thankful for later on in the game.
The 1-2 to Fields, and that comes in and nearly hits him. I thought maybe it did for a second, but it did not. Comes in and almost got him, so a 2-2 count.
It's a big deal for Michael Bowden to put up a 0 here. When the Rockers score first, they are 39-18, which is the best record in the Atlantic League. But when the opponents score first, they're 20-28. So it's such a huge difference. It shows the importance of scoring first.
The 2-2 to Fields. He swings and misses for strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Michael Bowden.
And, Bowden didn't have a bad first inning, but you allowed a couple of guys to get on base, so I think it's really huge here for Bowdoin to come back and pick up a really quick second inning here.
This is John Apostolo at the plate here. He fouls that one back. 0-1, 1 out. Just a reminder, folks, tomorrow night is Irish Heritage Night. You don't want to miss that. Here's the 0-1. This one hit down the first base line. Cardullo makes a good play on it. Flips it back to Bowdoin for out number 2. So Apostolo is retired. And it's quickly 2 outs here. Bowdoin trying to answer Mattis's first inning where he had the 1-2-3 with one of his own.
Absolutely great play there by Cardullo down the line.
That could easily get past you there, Kendrick, especially when it's rolling off the turf like that. That ball moves quick, so a really good play. 2 outs in the inning. Clint Freeman at the plate here, the first baseman. The pitch from Bowdoin, he is swinging and tips that one back into the net, an 0-1 count.
Freeman on the year hitting .233 with the Ducks in 24 games. Former product of East Tennessee State.
The 0-1. That one misses inside, 1-1 count.
Played with River City in the Frontier League the last 3 seasons, double-digit power, but just 1 home run so far this year.
The 1-1, a big swing again there, 1-2. Clint Freeman in a 1-2 count here, 2 outs in the bottom of the second, top of the second, excuse me. Bowdoin looking to get out of the inning. Here's the 1-2. This one hit on the ground towards first again. Cardullo has to go out of the way for it. Throws it back to Bowdoin for out number 3. 2 great plays by Cardullo and a strikeout is how the Ducks go down in order. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. We're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second inning.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. The DH tonight, Richie Schaefer, makes his way to the plate. In the game the Rockers won against the New Britain Bees when they were on the road, he had 2 home runs in one game, so he's somebody who is swinging a hot bat and has a ton of home runs on the year for the Rockers. Has been a very reliable option for him, Kendrick.
Yeah, he decided that he didn't like not leading the team in home runs anymore, so he took that back over the road trip. Now leads the team with 19.
Schaefer from Charlotte, North Carolina, played baseball in college at Clemson. The first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. 1-0, no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. We're still scoreless here at BB&T Point. The 1-0 to Schaefer. That one really high there, 2-0. After Schaefer, Quincy Lattimore on deck. The man they refer to as King Q. Here's the 2-0 to Schaefer. That one in there for a strike, 2-1. Richie Schaefer, high school teammates with former Rocker Brett Austin, who had his contract purchased earlier this year as a member of the Giants organization as a Richmond Flying Squirrel. The 2-1 to Schaefer. That one a strike, 2-2. So Mattis comes back and makes it a 2-2 count after being down 2-0.
And one thing that was always on the scouting report for Brian Mattis is the fact that he does have a plus curveball. So we should expect to see Mattis go to that breaking ball pretty regularly tonight.
A 2-2 count, no outs. Here's the 2-2. That one gets down in the turf for ball 3. So a full count here for Richie Schaefer.
Was never a hard-throwing left-handed pitcher. He's relied throughout his career on the off-speed pitch, and a good job by Schaefer there not to go chasing.
The 3-2 to Schaefer. He tips this one back into the net. So quite a battle here to lead off the inning. A good eye by Schaefer. He's fouled a few back. He's staying alive here at the plate. A full count. Still scoreless, no outs here, bottom of the second. Here's the 3-2. That one inside, and that'll be ball 4. Schaefer goes to first. So the Rockers start the bottom of the second inning with a man on first in Schaefer. Quincy Lattimore comes to the plate now for the High Point Rockers. We talked about how Schaefer has 19 home runs. Quincy right behind him with 17.
And, one thing I want to say about Schaefer's at-bat real quick is, we talk about him as a power hitter. It's really underrated, his plate discipline. He has a pretty good eye at the plate.
Lattimore swings there, unable to connect there. 0-1, and Kendrick, the Rockers have an opportunity to really work the pitch count up on Mattis here. He's on his 25th pitch, and he doesn't have an out in the second inning. Bowden is through 2 innings and has thrown 27 pitches. For perspective, it's a 1-1 count. So Mattis is at his 26th pitch here, and he has no outs in the second inning. So a real opportunity to kind of run that pitch count up a little bit.
And I mentioned they started stretching him out. His last start, he went 6 innings and threw 87 pitches. So I would guess Mattis is probably good up to 100 or so. But, yeah, certainly doesn't hurt to run the pitch count up as early as you can.
That one a ball, 2-1. And to your point, still plenty of time. But this is a little bit of an opportunity here. Man on and Richie Schaefer with no outs. Quincy Lattimore at the plate. Miles Shorter behind him. The 2-1 to Lattimore. He swings and hits that one off of the net. That's the kind of power he has. Looked like he kind of half swung at it, and he hits it hard down the line foul.
Yeah, I think he realized as he was starting his swing, I'd say about a third of the way into that swing, he realized that was an off-speed pitch, so he really slowed down the arms there. That way he was able to make contact with it.
2-2. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say it's not just power, but good back control as well.
No outs here in the bottom of the second. A runner on and Richie Schaefer. The 2-2 to Lattimore. He foul tips that one back into the crowd. Quincy Lattimore at the plate. Brian Mattis on the mound. As Kendrick said, the former number 1 draft pick in the MLB draft back in 2008. The 2-2. Lattimore hits this one down the third base line. The only play's at first, but Quincy is safe, and he moves Schaefer over to second as well. Romero made the throw to Freeman, but Quincy beat it out. Runners on first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, Devinson Romero was a slow hit ground ball, and he decided at first to look over at at second base to see if he could try to turn the double plays. You see on the replay there, it's a close play at first base, but Lattimore does just beat it out. And
he even helped on the call as well.
Sure. But I think that look over at second base cost Romero the chance to get the runner out at first base. First hit of the game for the Rockers.
Schroeder at the plate. He takes a swing at it there. 0-1. So a single there for Lattimore. That moves Schaefer over to second. So 2 on. Richie Schaefer at second. Quincy Lattimore at first. He's got great power, but he's also got great speed that can catch you off guard, and he was really hustling down the line. He plays a lot of heart, does Quincy Lattimore. The 0-1 to Schroeder, and now it's a ball 1-1.
Well, and I like his form, too. When his playing days are over, I think he's got the safe call to be an umpire after his playing days are over.
Yeah, he plays with a lot of heart. He was fired up about that one. He's got a big smile on his face over there at first base. So a 1-1 count for Miles Schroeder. Richie Schaefer out there at second base. So 2 on for Mattis. He's in a bit of a pickle here. The 1-1 to Schroeder. He foul tips that one. You'd love a foul out here if you're the Ducks, or something that would make it very difficult for the Rocker runners to score and move over.
I think you'd even take a double play here. It would end up putting Schaefer at third base, but you'd have 2 outs at that point if you're the Ducks.
When that one was hit on the ground to Romero, he thought he had a double play. As you mentioned, he looked over, and by the time he did, not only was Schaefer at second, but Quincy Lattimore was at first base and beat out the throw. Jared Mitchell waits on deck. Here's the 1-2 to Schroeder. He hit this one down the third base line. If that bounces in, it just missed. That is going to score both and probably a double, if not a triple, for Schroeder, depending on where Myers is in left field. That was close.
Yeah, that one a shot right down the line, just hooking foul. And Romero not playing that far off the line, but it just shows you how hard that ball was hit, that he didn't have a chance to get to that ball.
The 1-2 to Schroeder. He hits this one down the right field line. Just foul.
It's twice in a row Schroeder's hit the ball foul, just not been able to straighten it out yet.
1-2 is the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quincy Lattimore at first. Richie Schaefer at second. Miles Schroeder at the plate. Brian Mattis on the mound. The 1-2 to Schroeder. Miles Schroeder hits this one hard and deep into left field. It's high, and it's going to be caught by Myers for out number 1, and it's going to leave the runners there. Now that we've met Myers, let's meet the rest of the Long Island Duck defense.
Yeah, we'll set up the outfield for you. Again, we mentioned Darby Myers in left field. Center field is Daniel Fields. L.J. Mazzilli is in right field. Third to first in the infield, it's Debinson Romero at third base. The shortstop, Vladimir Frias. Keystone corner is John Apostolo. At first base is Clint Freeman. And the battery of Hector Sanchez, the former New York Giant or San Francisco Giant and World Series champion. And then Brian Mattis on the mound.
Jared Mitchell at the plate here for the High Point Rockers. Runners on first and second. The first pitch to Mitchell. He hits this one into left field hard, and it's going to be caught by Myers again for out number 2. So quickly, 2 outs here after no outs and runners on first and second. Mattis is able to get 2 quick ones.
Schaefer had a pretty good jump there. He was ready to score if that ball dropped in, but again, we mentioned Myers there to make the catch, and Schaefer had to go back to second. But he had a healthy, I would say, half to 2/3 of the way down to third base when that ball was caught.
Giovanni Alfonso at the plate now with runners on first and second. 2 outs. The first pitch to Alfonso is in there for a strike, 0-1. A guy with 24 RBIs. He's been the most consistent, one of the best shortstops in the league all year, and he is swinging a hot bat right now, especially in the last homestand. Here's the 0-1 to Giovanni Alfonso. Hits this one on the ground at third base, and that was close at third because Romero bobbled it. They're going to call it an out as Devinson Romero was able to hold on and make the play at third base. So 2 Rockers reached, but they were unable to come in and score for High Point. Michael Bowden makes his way back to the mound for the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you in the top of the 3rd inning here at the ballpark on a Friday night. The Long Island Ducks have traveled down to High Point to take on the Rockers. Vladimir Frias steps in here. He's first pitch swinging. That one is foul. It's going to leave BB&T Point. An 0-1 count for him. On the mound is Michael Bowden.
Frias just a .221 hitter, but he has 5 home runs on the year from that number 9 spot.
The 0-1 is outside for a ball. 1-1. That one came in quickly.
Certainly feels like a bit of a different lineup than what we saw of the York Revolution last time we were here, where they look dangerous from top to bottom. This looks more like your traditional lineup where you have your power guys in the middle and your speed guys up at the top.
The 1-1. That one in there for a strike. 1-2. And a few things I want to add on to that. A few guys missing here from the lineup, as we talked about you and I earlier off the air. A couple guys on the IL. Here is the 1-2 from Bowden. And that one just missing for strike 3. It was actually a ball. 2-2. The 2 guys missing that jump out to me that are on the IL right now are infielders Steve Lombardozzi and David Washington. The 2-2. This one hit down the left field line. Quincy on the run for it and nearly made the play. It bounced just in fair territory, they say, and it's going to be a ground rule double.
I thought that was a foul ball. I'm going to need to see that one again on the replay. It certainly looked like it curled foul.
Here's another look at it. Wait for the ball to drop. And it bounces in fair territory. You see the rubber pellets in the turf bounce up right above the line, and Quincy was almost there, and then it went straight into the picnic area for a ground rule double. A great job by our crew to get another look at that one. That was very close, and Vladimir Frias with a nice hit and a good bounce, and he's on second base.
Great job by the umpires today, too. They've had some close plays, and I think they're 3 for 3 on the close ones so far today, so they're doing a really nice job, the umpires of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, we have replay to look back and go, okay, they did make the right call. They have to make it on what they see live action, and they've done a really good job. This is Darby Myers. He's in left field. He's showing bunt right away. He's not making any thing about it here, and the throw to second looked really close, but Frias makes it back. He is not being shy about what he's going to do at the plate here, Darby. He was showing bunt. Let's see if he does it again. Cardullo is very close in on first base. So is Hector Gomez. Russell in close as well. Let's see. He's showing bunt again. Runner on second. He pulls it back here, and he is swinging. This one is hit foul. So Myers saw everybody coming in and pulls it back. Let's see what he does here, Kendrick. What do you think?
I expected tonight to be a pitcher's duel, and I think obviously we're seeing that through the first inning or 2 innings right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the bunt here. I think the single runs are going to be at a premium, not just in this game, but through the rest of the series as well.
The 0-1, he's showing bunt here. That one takes a big bounce right in front of him. The throw to third, and it gets past him being Gomez, and it's going to be 2 and a score for the Ducks as Frias is going to come in to score, and Myers is going to make it to second base on the throwing error from Matt Jones. Jones went for the lead runner there, didn't tag Myers, who makes it not only to first but over to second, and the run comes in to make it 1-0. Here's another look at it. Kendrick, break it down for us.
I think Jones could have had a double play with the tag and a throw, but he had the right idea going to get the lead runner. They have Frias dead to rights there at third base, but the throw's wide, and it ends up going into left field.
That one came in quickly. And it got past Gomez and into left field, so a 1-0 advantage, not an earned run. Is that right? Yeah, not an earned run, and runner on second, no outs, and a big swing from Fuentes. This one into left field. It's moving over into center. Schroeder makes the catch, and a great throw into Giovanni Alfonso that will keep Myers at second.
Yeah, when you're this far into the season, obviously there are no secrets left to be had, and everybody knows that Miles Schroeder has a cannon out there in center field. The fact that he's listed as a catcher on the roster, for goodness sake. So, I think
his secret's out.
They know. Don't go to third base when Schroeder catches the ball. I don't care who it is at second.
And you have Quincy Lattimore in left field, who has just as good of an arm. Both, I think, are probably equal
and
when
Mitchell
it comes to
as
arm
well.
strength. Hard to run on this outfield.
Jared Mitchell, a guy that was like a 5-tool player when he was drafted.
L.J. Mazzilli at the plate here, 1 out. And here is the throw to third. Did they get him? Throw was in time. Tag was not. And he is safe at third base. So he made it to second on the bunt and then the throw into left field and on the E2. And now he makes it over to third base with a stolen base. 1 out, Mazzilli at the plate.
Yeah, an accurate throw there by Jones, just a little bit late that time on the stolen base attempt.
The pitch to Mazzilli. That one is a ball. He said he went for it there, so he had to wait for Bill Worthington to make the call. It's 0-2 count here for Mazzilli with 1 out. Getting out number 2 would be big here, especially if it came by a strikeout, because it would keep Myers over there at third base. .1-0 game. The Ducks lead here in the top of the third. The 0-2. This one hit foul. The 0-2, that one is just down low. 1-2 count, 1 out.
Yeah, Bowden there going with the fastball down, just trying to expand the zone a little bit, trying to see if he can get see if he can get Mazzilli to chase a little bit here. You mentioned how big a strikeout would be to be the second out of the inning, and obviously Bowden knows that as well.
The 1-2, that one comes on the inside there and gets close on Mazzilli, so it'll be a 2-2 count, 1 out.
I want to mention the stolen base for Darby Myers of third is his 24th of the year.
The 2-2, that one hit foul down the line. Two, 1 out. Two, 1 out, man on third. So Bowden trying to keep him there. The Ducks would love to bring him in and add another run. The 2-2, that one hit foul. Nice play made by the fan there off one bounce.
We talk about the fact that the Rockers were working up Brian Mattis's pitch count in the bottom of the last inning. Well, the Ducks are doing the exact same thing here to Bowden. He's up at 41 pitches now. And there's still just 1 out in the inning, so needs some quick results if he's trying to continue his work deep into tonight's ball game.
The 2-2, that one took a big bounce, and Jones did a good job of blocking it, keeping it in front of him. That one gets past him, and that could be a big problem with the man on third there especially. 3-2, 1 out.
Matt Jones usually very solid defensively. That throwing error very not like him, but
very uncharacteristic.
He shakes it off and does a really nice job blocking that last pitch. You're absolutely right.
The 3-2, did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Bowden gets a big strikeout for out number 2. His third strikeout of the night, and it comes at a big time here in the top of the third in a 1-0 game. Here's Hector Sanchez. This is a big at-bat here, Kendrick. Runner on third. Ducks want to capitalize on that. Rockers want to leave the deficit at 1 here.
The good thing, you can release your infield, and they can go back and play normal depth now.
The pitch from Bowden, that one a ball, 1-0.
Although you notice the Rockers playing him to pull, the infield is shifted over towards right field, and even Miles Schroeder in center field is shifted towards the right field side of the bag. Jared Mitchell is shading close to the right field foul line as well.
The 1-0. That one hit down the line, 1-1. The first base coach might look familiar for the Long Island Ducks. It's former High Point Rocker starter Seth Simmons down there at first base. Now a member of the Long Island Ducks, part of that trade in which the Rockers got Asher Tolliver.
He picked up his first win with the Ducks yesterday, actually. 6 innings of 2-run ball.
The Ducks picked up, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 big wins against the York Revolution.
They
That was a
swept the
sweep.
Revolution.
Yeah, that's huge.
Including a doubleheader on Wednesday. They were rained out on Tuesday and had to play 2 the following day.
It's nearly impossible to sweep a doubleheader, so that's pretty impressive, especially against a team as good as the York Revolution. A big swing here for strike 2. Sanchez really went after that one. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs.
Speaking of the York Revolution, we'll have a couple scoreboard updates for you coming up. Three of the 4 games in progress right now. Bees and Skeeters playing later tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. That one gets down for ball 3, 3-2.
Now, you're not in as dangerous a situation with 2 outs here. You don't have to worry about making the perfect pitch and getting that strikeout. You have defense behind you. And certainly a more than capable defense at that. So if you're Bowden, obviously you don't want to lay anything in there, but It doesn't have to be the perfect swing and miss pitch.
The 3-2, and he gets the swing and miss there for strike 3. 2 strikeouts back-to-back, and the Rockers get out of the inning. Only allow 1 run there. It'll be unearned. Here's another look at the Bowden strikeout to end the inning. Rockers head to the bottom of the 3rd, 1-0. The Ducks lead.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Foots with you here at the ballpark as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Long Island Ducks lead 1-0. You hear about those Public House Media podcasts. Another one you can listen to and subscribe to is Kendrick's podcast, my podcast, the Off the Rocker podcast. We are your hosts along with James Jackson. So if you love High Point Rocker baseball, you can't get enough. Well, there is some more.
I do.
Yeah, well, there's some more content for you of the Off the Rockers podcast. So feel free to listen to that and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Here's Matthew Jones at the plate here. That one is a ball. He stayed. Confirmed by Worthington down there at first base. So a 1-0 count for Matthew Jones. Still on the mound here for the Long Island Ducks is Brian Mattis.
And obviously Jones wanting to atone for that throwing error last half inning. Base hit or a double here would go a long way into doing that.
The 1-0 to Jones. That one missing as well inside. 2-0 count.
As I mentioned earlier, the Rockers 20-28 when the opponent scores first, but we know how much High Point does their damage late in the games as well.
The 2-0 to Matt Jones. He fouls that one back into the net. 2-0.
But it goes without saying, Kevin, I think during that York Revolution series, it felt good to get out early a couple of times and, you know, have a couple of games where you didn't feel like it was going to come down to the last at-bat and you could just work on protecting that lead. And obviously the Rockers have an opportunity to do that here, just down a single run.
The 2-1 to Jones. That one up high. 3-1. And the Rockers would love to start this inning the same way they did the last inning. They had a leadoff man in Richie Schaefer. He reached courtesy of a walk. And another opportunity to do that here potentially in a 3-1 count. No outs. A 1-0 lead for the Ducks. Here's the 3-1 to Jones. That one is high. Ball 4. So the Rockers will do just that. They'll start with their leadoff man reaching first base. And they'll have a man on first with no outs. Here comes the Rockers leadoff man. He starts nearly every game in this spot for the Rockers. Steven Cardulo. And that is really the only thing that stays the same when it comes to his positioning, because he's everywhere in the field and so great at all the positions they put him at, and he's been consistent at the plate all year long. And here's another big spot for him here with a man on first, no outs, the first pitch. That one is a ball, so a 1-0 count. This is a guy with 18 home runs, a .270 average, and 56 RBIs. An all-star for the High Point Rockers. One of the 7. The 1-0 to Cardullo. That one down for a ball as well. So quickly a 2-0 count. No outs and a man on first in Jones.
Looks like Mattis is having a little bit of a hard time locating the strike zone here in the start of this inning, as he's missed on 6 pitches. Last inning, the Rockers had the first 2 guys aboard. You mentioned Schaefer with the walk, Lattimore with the single. They weren't able to bring either of them in.
The 2-0. And that one missing for a ball as well. No signal there. So a 3-0 count. And the urgency maybe a tiny bit higher here for the Rockers. Now it was 0-0 last inning, 1-0 after the top of the third. So we're here in the bottom of the third inning. Runner on first and a 3-0 count to Cardullo, and that one missing as well. So the first 2 batters of the inning reach courtesy of walks. So runners on first and second, no outs, and we're in the top of the order. Cardullo just reached. Michael Russell at the plate. This is a big opportunity here for the Rockers.
It absolutely is, and that's what I was about to say is that, you know, you talked about the sense of urgency. It's huge when you get to the top of the lineup with this sort of opportunity as well. Obviously, we know the Rockers can produce 1 through 9, but there's just something about the top of this lineup that can do so much damage, and we need to see it here.
There's a strike for Russell, 0-1.
Obviously, Michael Russell taking all the way there as Brian Mattis has had a hard time locating the strike zone. Next pitch here will be number 50 for Mattis.
Talk about the pitch count. Those walks definitely don't help. Here's the 0-1 to Russell. Another ball. 1-1. One count. Runners on first and second. Russell at the plate. Hector Gomez on deck. The 1-1. Russell hits this one foul. 1-2. Mattis looking for an out here.
Russell had a little bit of a rough road trip against New Britain. Was hitting over 300 when he left here. He's down at 290 now. But he's been one of the Rockers' better hitters since the All-Star break.
The 1-2. Russell hits this one to Romero at third base, and he's only going to be able to tag the lead runner in Jones for out number 1.
That's the second ground ball that's been hit to Romero today that looked like he hesitated and wasn't exactly sure where to go with the ball. I'm not sure maybe if Cardullo was already at second base at the time and made a double play impossible, but as it is, you just get the lead runner out. The Rockers basically have the exact same situation they were in, just with one out now.
So Russell at first, Cardullo at second, Gomez at the plate, Mattis on the mound. That one in there for a strike, 0-1.
Mentioned Gomez has been picking up some of the power here recently. 9 home runs, including 4 in the last 8 days.
An 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 to Gomez. He tips this one back into the net, 0-2.
And obviously, if you're him, you know you're feeling good.
Here's another look at that play. Romero doesn't make the throw, faked like he was going to, and then tags out Jones. If he makes the throw, he's probably not going to get Cardullo, so he made the right play there. 0-2 count for Gomez. Runners on first and second, one out. The 0-2. He tips this one back into the net again to stay alive.
Still 2 more cracks at it this inning, but it'd be a huge missed opportunity if the Rockers had 2 guys on and nobody out for the second inning in a row and wouldn't be able to even score one of those 4 base runners.
The 0-2. Gomez hits this one right to Frias. Can they turn 2? Yes, they do, and they get out of the inning. Frias over to second and the throw to first to Freeman for a double play. So Mattis and the Ducks get out of trouble once again, even with 2 High Point Rockers reaching with no outs. The Ducks still lead 1-0. We head to the 4th inning. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at BB&T Point. We're here in the 4th inning. The Ducks lead 1-0. And this is a really close one when it comes to the standings. Both teams neck and neck for first place in the Liberty Division. The first pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, you see the Rockers there with a 3-game lead over the Ducks. The Bees didn't pick up that much ground recently, though, even though they won 3 out of 4 against the Rockers. The updated standings, we'll let you know what those look like here. As the Ducks are in first place at 17-15. That one's ripped down the line fair. It's going to go in for extra bases. You know, you talk about the Rockers had some bad luck earlier, Kevin, where they'd hit one right down the line and it curled foul at the last moment, but right there, that one bounced right over the third base bag for Debinson Romero. He's got a leadoff double.
The Sugarland Skeeters and the York Revolution are tied for first. And the Long Island Ducks and the High Point Rockers in a very similar situation. I believe the Ducks have a half-game lead over the Rockers.
For the second half.
Yeah, in the second half. So whoever wins today's game, you know, well, if the Ducks win, they'll continue to be in first place. If the Rockers win, they'll be in first place with a win. And then you look to win the series, and if you win the first one tonight, why not try to sweep the whole thing and extend your lead, whether you're the Ducks or the Rockers? Fields at the plate here in a 2-0 count with a runner on second.
Actually, and I hate to throw in another confusing thing.
That's okay.
I got confirmation while the Rockers were away that they are going to move that 71st game from the first half to the second half in the standings.
Right.
So when you factor that in, the Rockers are actually a game and a half behind the Ducks right now, and so they'll need to win 2 out of 3.
Are you sure it's not just a half game back?
I've got a game and a half.
I had a half game. We'll double check. This one is hit foul.
You're right. It is a half game.
Yeah, so it's a half game because, yeah.
But, yeah, with that game factored in, the Rockers are 18-17 right now, and the Ducks are 17-15.
Yeah, that game that was floating back and forth, that's the tricky one. And that is ball 4 there, so in a 3-1 count, that one missing. That'll put Fields on first. So Romero at second base and Fields out here at first base. So 2 men on, no outs, and a great opportunity for the Ducks to get some insurance and add to their lead. They have good pitching tonight, so a couple runs would definitely help them and make it even tougher for the Rockers tonight.
And, Kevin, the thing that makes the games back thing so complicated is the fact that it's not been switched everywhere. So on some standings, it's still in there in the first half, and some it's in the second half. But we got confirmation it will be second half standings.
John Apostolo at the plate, and this one came in near the head of Apostolo. He hit the ground. He was showing bunt.
Matt Jones is saying that was foul tipped off of the bat.
No,
you saw he was.
Yeah, they also were putting putting their hands on like he never pulled the bat back. So I think he kept it the entire time, and they're going to bring everybody together to discuss whether this was a strike or not. Apostolo at the plate. Romero at second, Fields at first. And it is being called a strike. So it's an 0-1 count, no outs, runners on first and second here for the Long Island Ducks.
Well, Kevin, regardless of however you want to work out the standings situation, they're a half game back, as we just mentioned, but they have a pretty comfortable lead in the wild card right now, which is good.
Showing bunt again, but unable to connect, and it is a 1-1 count, them being the Rockers.
Yes, and I'm crunching the numbers right now. If you give me 1 second, I will tell you what their advantage is over the second place York Revolution in the wild card standings.
So a 1-1 count here for Apostolo.
It is 3.5 games over the Revolution, so that's the difference between the wild card spot and being the next one out. Although Sugarland and York lead their divisions, or Sugarland and Long Island, I should say.
The 1-1, that one foul back. And if Sugarland won the second half, and if Long Island won the second half, then
top
both
2 wild card teams.
Both wild cards would be
Correct.
open, and York and High Point, if those are the two, they would be the wild card teams.
Right, at which point you would look at the difference between the top wild card team and the number 3 team to see what the Rockers' cushion is, which is 4 games right now over the Somerset Patriots.
And don't forget about those New Britain Bees, who are very much in it as well, especially after taking 3 out of 4 against the Rockers. So 2 on, no outs. Here is, Bowden's going to take a step back here for a second with 2 runners on.
The thing about the Bees, though, is that if they're going to make it happen, it's going to have to be by winning the second half. They're still 10 games out of a wild card spot right now, so their best bet is to win the division in the second half, which they're only 4 out right now.
The 1-2, and this one is fouled back over the net into the crowd. And that new Atlantic League rule, you're allowed to bunt with 2 strikes. You're given 1 foul one, and that'll be his 1 foul bunt. So now he will probably be swinging freely.
It's not often you bunt one that leaves the stadium.
That's pretty rare.
The good thing here, though, if they do take the bunt off, is the Rockers have a chance to turn 2.
That one down low. 2-2. No outs. Runners on first and second.
Big moment for Bowden. He's at 64 pitches right now. 6 innings might be the cap for him.
The 2-2. That one just missing a full count here. A 1-0 game, a 3-2 count, no outs. The 3-2, a big swing there as Apostolo fouled that one off himself, and he'll stay there, and he stays in the game for right now and in this at-bat.
He's been battling with Michael Bowden. Next pitch will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat in what's already starting to turn into a longer inning here for the Rockers.
He's going to stay. He's going to need a new bat, though, so the bat will go. 3-2 count.
Do you know why today's game was played at night?
I don't know why.
Because bats are asleep during the day.
It is National Joke Day, so I really appreciate that. Runners on first and second. Here's the 3-2, and he gets them to chase and swing at that one. Strike 3. Apostolo goes down on strikes. A big strikeout for Michael Bowden, the first out of the inning. Runners on first and second still for the Long Island Ducks. Daniel Fields at first. Romero at second. Clint Freeman comes to the plate here for the Long Island Ducks.
And not only is that a big first out just to get the first out, but the fact that neither base runner advanced, it makes that all the more huge there.
Freeman, first pitch swinging, hits this one into center field. Schroeder is there. He makes the catch. A big throw to third base, and Gomez fields it off of a bounce. The runner will move over to third. Romero is there, but that's going to keep Fields at first base. 2 outs, so Freeman will get credit for the sacrifice there that moved over Romero.
Solid throw for Schroeder there, getting it to third on the hop, kept it relatively low, which took out some of the time.
I like that play by Giovanni Alfonso, too. He acted like he was fielding it to try to add an extra distraction there for the runner. Vladimir Frias at the plate now for the Long Island Ducks. This would be a huge out, and really a statement by Bowden if he can get out of this one with how big of a chance the Ducks had here to try to capitalize. And they still have a big chance here to try to capitalize and get more insurance runs and add a little extra sense of comfort for their defense.
Yeah, if you're the Rockers, you really don't want to let the bottom of the lineup beat you.
The ball gets loose, and Cardullo is so quick, he's able to get to it before either man can move.
Not a great throw from Bowden, but a good job by Cardullo laying out and deflecting that ball and taking away a lot of the energy on that throw. It scoots past him, but since he deflected it, it didn't get that far away.
Runners on the corners. 1-0 count, 2 outs. In a game where the Ducks lead 1-0 here in the top of the fourth. Here is the 1-0. That one is strike. Jones pop back up, keeps everybody back. A 1-1 count.
Yeah, Fields dancing pretty far off of first base over there. Looked like he was about to go, but was just trying to draw a throw from Matt Jones.
The 1-1. That one high for a ball. 2-1. 2-1, 2 outs. A 1-0 lead for the Long Island Ducks here in the top of the fourth inning. Runners on the corners. Michael Bowden on the mound. Rockers trying to keep it a 1-0 game. The Ducks looking for a little extra help when it comes to runs. The 2-1 from Bowden. That one fouled back 2-2. The runner was on the move from first. Fields is going to have to come back. Vladimir Frias at the plate. In a 2-2 count with 2 outs. What a big out number 3 this would be for Bowden. And to keep this game 1-0, that would be huge. The Ducks don't want to waste an opportunity, though, Kendrick.
No, he's up over 70 pitches at this point. He knows that going deep into this game is pretty much out of the question at this point. So the big thing, again, is to keep your team in it, to give them a chance to win, and being able to put up a 0 here would do absolutely that.
The 2-2 from Bowden. That one just missing. Ball number 3 there. 3-2, 2 outs. Strike 3 ends the inning. Ball 4 would load the bases.
And again, this is the bottom guy in the lineup. You really want to get, you want to retire Frias so that way you're coming back around to the top with nobody on in the 5th inning.
Top of the 4th, 3-2 in a 1-0 game. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes for Frias. Here's the 3-2 from Bowden. Fouled into the net. We'll have to reset and do it all over again. The runner at first will be moving. I don't think that's any secret at this point. Daniel Fields ran again. He'll have to move back.
One thing that may play into the Rockers' favor when they get to the bottom of this inning, it's been a long top half of the inning, so maybe, just maybe, it's been enough to shake Brian Mattis out of his groove a little bit and see if the Rockers' offense can get going. But again, you got to focus on putting up a 0 here first.
The 3-2 from Bowden. That's strike 3 as Frias swings and misses. A big strike 3, a huge strikeout for Michael Bowden as the Ducks leave 2 on again. And it is still a 1-0 ball game. What a performance from Michael Bowden as the Rockers work out of trouble. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 1-0 game. The Ducks lead. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Foots with you here. In the bottom of the fourth inning, the Rockers lead 1-0. What a great job Michael Bowden did to get out of that inning and leave it a 1-0 game. Richie Schaefer at the plate now for the Rockers. The first pitch, that one missing for a ball, 1-0.
As promised, we told you that we had to give you some scores from across the league. The Blue Crabs with a 1-0 lead on the Somerset Patriots in the bottom of the third inning. Corey Vaughn's 18th home run of the year.
The 1-0 to Richie Schaefer. That one a ball as well, 2-0.
So the Rockers trying to gain some ground on the Patriots in the wild card battle. Here's another one. The Barnstormers a 5-1 lead over the Revolution in the bottom of the fourth inning in that one.
A 2-0 count here for Richie Schaefer. The 2-0, that one in there for a strike, 2-1.
And the Bees and Skeeters set to have first pitch in about 10 minutes or so. So 3 games in progress, and both of them going the Rockers' way right now, or at least both ones that we're not in.
Brian Mattis on the mound. Here's the 2-1 from him. That one just tied 3-1. The Rockers 1 ball away from starting an inning with a man on base with no outs for the third time tonight. Richie Schaefer at the plate. Here's the 3-1. He's swinging there, unable to hit this one. It's 3-2.
Schaefer walked his first time up, was retired at third base as a force play back in the second inning.
Three-two count. Here's the 3-2 to Schaefer. He swings and tipped that one. If Sanchez holds on to it, I think that would have been strike 3. 3-2 count here. Richie Schaefer stays alive.
From the way that Sanchez reacted, it almost looked like it clipped him a little bit there, but either it didn't get him that hard or his momentum had him leaning off to the side. He fell down after retrieving that baseball.
I think he was a little surprised the ball came back at him there.
I think so.
Here's the 3-2 from Mattis. Schaefer swings, strike out there by Mattis with strike 3. 1 out in the inning for Quincy Lattimore, and for the first time in 3 innings, the Rockers won't start with a man on here. Quincy Lattimore comes up with 1 out. The Ducks lead 1-0.
Kevin, I have some bad news and I have some good news.
Let's go with the good news first.
Nope, it doesn't work that way.
Okay, let's go with the bad news first.
There is a storm cell.
Yeah.
Good news, A, it is small.
Okay.
B, there is nothing behind it.
Okay.
And C, it's tracking that we're just going to catch the south end of it or it may miss us north altogether.
All right.
But it looks like it is a small, very intense cell. So
okay.
It could be fun if it hits us, but it could stay north.
Understood. Quincy Lattimore at the plate here, and that is in there for a strike. 0-1, 1 out.
Lattimore singled his first time up.
Beautiful sky right now. The 0-1. A 1-1 count. A little bit of a blue, orange, pink. Best described as a cotton candy sky.
Yeah, we're set up for a very nice sunset here at BB&T Point, which we always tend to get lucky with a good sunset and great backdrop of the city as well to have those colors bounce off of it.
The 1-1, Quincy Lattimore hits this one into left field. Is it fair? It is. It's gone. Send it. A solo shot for the King. Quincy Lattimore, a home run that ties up the ball game. 1-1. We're all tied up. Rockers, Ducks. You always are in for a good one when these two teams meet. And it looks like we got another one here tonight. Here, we're in the bottom of the fourth, 1-1, all tied up, courtesy of Quincy Lattimore.
Home run number 18 for Quincy Lattimore.
A no-doubter. Look at the swing. And he watches it as he runs around the bases there. That one felt good.
Well, it was a no-doubter down the, as far as distance goes. It started to hook a little bit at the end. I wasn't sure, but in terms of distance, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
A little bit of doubt when it came to if it was fair. Great point. Miles Schroeder at the plate. A 1-0 count for Miles Schroeder.
A note for that home run, Lattimore tied his teammate Steven Cardullo for 5th on the home run leaderboard.
The 1-0 to Schroeder. He hits this one hard as well. Foul.
Three-way tie up ahead of him with 19 home runs in second place. Dennis Phipps, Richie Schaefer, and Washington of the Ducks, you mentioned not playing. But they're all still way behind Telvin Nash, who leads the league with 32.
A 1-1 count, 1 out in a 1-1 game after the home run. Here's the 1-1 to Miles Schroeder. That one a ball. 2-1, 1 out, tied up at 1. Ducks courtesy, they got their run courtesy of a error. So that's an unearned run for Michael Bowden as the run scored from third after an errant throw. The 2-1. Schroeder tips this one back, and the Rockers have tied it up from that home run you just saw or heard, courtesy of Quincy Lattimore. His 19th in 18th in a Rocker uniform, 19th professionally this year, including his one home run in Mexico. The 2-2 to Schroeder. He fouls that one away.
I should mention, this is not the first time the Rockers have seen Brian Mattis. He pitched against High Point in Long Island a couple of weeks ago, went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits and just 1 earned run. Picked up a no decision there in a game the Rockers eventually won 6-3. So this is not the first time they've seen the Ducks left-hander.
And they've picked up a run against him here to tie up the game. Here's the 2-2. Schroeder hits this one down the right field side, foul.
Schroeder, a guy with home run power as well. He's got 7, but it's been a while since his last home run. I want to say it's been about a month at this point.
A 2-2 count for Miles Schroeder. 1 out. How does Mattis respond after giving up the home run? Here is the 2-2 to Schroeder, who is staying alive at the plate. Fouls this one away.
Feels like a little bit of a different ball game. We talk about it being a pitcher's duel, and a 1-run lead is a tall order for the Rockers to overcome, but all of a sudden it's tied. It just feels a little different here now.
The 2-2 to Schroeder. He hits this one right to Romero, who makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, just got in on the hands there a little bit on Miles Schroeder and wasn't able to get the power part of the bat on it. Weak little pop-up there to third.
Miles Schroeder goes down there after the pop-up to Romero. Here comes Jared Mitchell with 2 outs in a 1-1 game, the former Sugar Land Skeeter. Here's the pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell hits this one hard into left field, but it is going to be caught by Myers. I thought that one was going to leave the ballpark there for Jared Mitchell, but it stays in. But let's talk about a ball that didn't stay in the ballpark. The one by Quincy Lattimore, a solo home run that ties up the game at 1 apiece. We head to the 5th inning. This is High Point Rocker baseball. We got a tie ball game.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits with you here at the ballpark. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Michael Bowden still on the mound here in the top of the fifth inning. New batter here for the Long Island Ducks. Leading off the inning, it'll be Darby Myers. The first pitch to him, that one in there for a strike, 0-1. We have a tie ball game. The Rockers tied up the ball game in the last inning there with a solo home run by Quincy Lattimore. So it's 1-1 now.
Yeah, I guess you could say he quacked the code on the Ducks lefty, so to speak.
The 0-1 to Myers. That one fouled back. 0-2. Nice catch there by, I believe that was Dominic DeMasi who caught that one off the net there. An 0-2 count. It's international or national. Is it national or international? Or both?
It should be international.
It's National Joke Day. So that's the 0-2 to Myers here. This one hit hard down the line. What a play by Cardullo, who made the tag while he dove. What a play by Steven Cardullo.
Fantastic glove work there by the first baseman. Full extension down the line. He can't see the umpire, so he doesn't know whether it's going to be called fair or foul, so he completes the play and tags the bag all in one motion. Just fantastic job there by the Rockers' first baseman.
That one just stayed fair, and he tags it with his leg while he makes the play. What an effort by Steven Cardullo. Ray Fuentes at the plate, 1-0. It is National Joke Day, so that's where you can credit the humor of Kendrick Fruits. So he'll be.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah, he'll be doing open mic in the parking lot after tonight's game. He's working on his tight five right now. The 1-1. This one bounces to Jones. 2-1.
We're going to start keeping a pretty tight eye on Michael Bowden's pitch count. He sits at 77 at the moment.
I would imagine the same goes for the Ducks as well. Fuentes hits this one up into right field. Mitchell making a run for it, makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs in the inning. Bowden could use a quick inning here. And like I was trying to say before that play there by Jared Mitchell, the Ducks will be keeping a close eye on Mattis's pitch count as well, because he's getting up there just as much as Bowden is. He's at 75 pitches.
And remember, the most he's gone this year is 87, which was in his last start, so we'll see how much more they'll be willing to stretch him.
2 outs. LJ Mazzilli showing bunt. Jones is there. Throws it to first for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning here for Michael Bowden. And the Rockers head to the dugout with a tie game here. 1-1. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Matt Jones was all over it here. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. The new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Foots here with you at BB&T Point. Giovanni Alfonso at the plate here for the Rockers in the bottom of the 5th inning in a 1-1 game. Matt is still on the mound. The first pitch to Giovanni Alfonso is there for a strike as he swings at it.
He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up.
The 0-1, Alfonso fouled that one back, and a nice play by Matt Jones on deck. Had to drop the bat and barehanded it.
Notice, though, he made the catch with his throwing hand. Matt Jones makes some good plays, but it doesn't matter which hand.
Well, he had the bat in the left hand, so he had to make it happen. Here's the 0-2 to Alfonso, and Giovanni Alfonso showing bunt. He's going to make it to first with a bunt single. Alfonso showing off the speed.
A beautiful push bunt there. He notices that Brian Mattis falls towards the third base side. When he releases, he knows that the first baseman and the second baseman are not playing for bunt, so he just shifts and pushes it down the first baseline past the mound, and there's nobody there to make a play. So a great idea there for Giovanni Alfonso.
In the pregame interview we did with Jamie Keefe, the manager of the High Point Rockers, he talked about the baseball IQ of the Rockers and how this is a really smart team and they need to make smart plays tonight against a great team in the Ducks, and that's a smart play. That's a heads-up move by Giovanni Alfonso, and that's the kind of stuff he likes to see, Jamie Keefe. That one a ball here, so a 1-0 count for Matt Jones. No outs, a runner on first and Giovanni Alfonso in a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-0 to Jones, who hits this one high. It's in foul territory. It was playable for a moment, but it is not anymore. Into the crowd for a foul ball.
Keeping a look on the defenders here, I almost wonder if Jones might try to lay down a bunt last minute just so the Rockers can get a guy over at second base. Jones has not been swinging the best of bats recently, hitting just 208, so certainly I think you have to at least consider it.
Jones a little speedy, too. Don't let that go.
Look how deep the third baseman's playing.
Yeah, he could maybe make it, too. Jones a swing here, and that one bounces off of Sanchez. Doesn't take a step back here behind the plate. 1-2 count. Alfonso at first. He would be the go-ahead run.
Obviously, in baseball, you can't make halftime adjustments like you do in football, but something the Rockers are going to need to fix here in the second half of this game. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position so far tonight, so when they get opportunities, you absolutely have to capitalize.
He did not score when they had a man on base. They scored courtesy of a solo home run.
Which I guess you kind of go with the Reggie Jackson look of when Reggie said, when I'm at the plate, there's always somebody in scoring position.
There's another look at it. Sanchez seems to be okay there. And he's ready to go now. A 1-2 count, no outs. Man on first and Giovanni Alfonso in a tie game. Mattis on the mound. This one takes a bounce, and Alfonso's going to go to second to throw. Not in time. He is safe.
Good job for Giovanni Alfonso. Seeing that ball bounce away from Sanchez, it goes behind the right-handed hitter of Matt Jones. It was going to be a tough throw for Sanchez to make to get around the body of the Rockers catcher. So just an excellent job there, Giovanni Alfonso, putting his head down and not slowing up until he made it to second.
Matt Jones at the plate, a 2-2 count. Runner at second in Giovanni Alfonso.
So this becomes an at-bat with a runner in scoring position now. Again, we just talked about how important that is for High Point to try to get that figured out. It looks like Madison Sanchez want to make sure they're on the same page here. As now the Rockers have a guy in scoring position, the intensity of this inning really just ramped up, especially because there's still no outs.
Intensity of this inning, the intensity of this at-bat. The at-bat kind of changes a little bit now, and you got to make sure that you're organized and on the same page and ready to make the same decision. Or make a decision that you can all agree on. A 2-2 count. Jones hasn't used his opportunity to bunt here yet. He's allowed a foul bunt with a man now in second base, and the first baseman, Freeman, moved in a little bit like he might be kind of expecting it. Let's see, Jones didn't do it there. The bat stayed on his shoulder. A 3-2 count now. No outs and a man on second for Matt Jones. Steven Cardullo on deck.
I think at this point you're not going to see the bunt in this at-bat.
Well, definitely not in a 3-2 count. I think Jones is going to go for it here. Here's the 3-2. That one misses. So great credit by Jones. A couple foul balls. Great vision. Stays alive at the plate long enough to get ball number 4. So that will put Matt Jones at first base after walking for his second time tonight. Steven Cardullo comes to the plate here in a 1-1 game.
What this does is set the double play back, and as long as you don't hit it over to third base where Romero is, obviously you don't want to hit into a double play if you're Cardullo, but you could put Alfonso at third with 2 outs.
That one near Cardullo. He has to lean out of the way. A 1-0 count.
But, again, Brian Mattis, a guy who sometimes has control issues, has already walked 4 hitters today.
However, Mattis, like Bowden, the Rockers have had these opportunities. Like you said, they're over 5 guys in scoring position. They've been able to work their way out of danger. Cardullo fouls this one away. 1-1. Will that be the case here again in this inning, or will the Rockers be able to cash in? That's the question.
Somebody's starting to stretch in the bullpen for the Ducks as Mattis's next pitch will be number 87.
So there's no outs. So you would imagine by the time he gets out of this one, this is probably his last inning.
And he may not even finish it.
The 1-1. That one missing for a ball. 2-1, and Alfonso was making moves down the line or down towards third base. And that's another new rule in the Atlantic League. You have to take your foot off the rubber to make the throw. So it gives runners a lot of leeway, a lot of chances to kind of go down there and take quite a lead. The 2-1 to Cardullo. That one a ball as well. A 3-1 count with no outs. Runners on first and second. Jones at first. Alfonso at second. Cardullo at the plate. Mattis on the mound. The Rockers are one ball away from having the bases loaded.
And you got to think, unless this is an absolutely perfect pitch, most likely Cardullo is taking here.
I agree with that.
I'd give him the green light if it's there, though, because he does have power.
Yeah, 18 home runs. Here's the 3-1. Cardullo, like that one, he foul tips it back, 3-2. This is a guy with power, a guy who is consistent, hits 270, 56 RBIs, 18 home runs. A major leaguer, the former Colorado Rocky.
Pitch number 90 coming up here for Mattis, so there is a right-hander up in their pen.
90 pitches, no outs here in this inning.
Looks like Bowden will be able to come out for the 6th inning. Nothing going on in the High Point pen.
The 3-2, that's ball 4. Bases are loaded here for Michael Russell with no outs in the inning in a 1-1 game.
And things just ramped up in the Long Island bullpen as Wally Backman's coming out right now.
And that might be it.
The reliever who was in the bullpen had only thrown 3 or 4 pitches, but I think that with Mattis all of a sudden losing command, that's his 5th walk of the game. I think they got to stop the bleeding right there.
And they will. He hands over the ball. That's the end of the night for him. And I think, Kendrick, they're okay with just having him come in and try to get those warm-up pitches as part of your bullpen session and have him ready to go. The bases are loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're all tied up at 1. Michael Russell is at the plate, and a new pitcher comes into the game. We'll let you know who it is when we come back. It's heating up here at BB&T Point. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
New pitcher in the ball game here for the Long Island Ducks. He comes in with the bases loaded. It's number 22, Ishmael Cabrera.
Yeah, Cabrera, this is just his 2nd appearance with the Ducks. 2nd appearance in the Atlantic League this year. Through 2 scoreless innings, and his only appearance was previously, I should say, with New Jersey in the Canadian American Association. Had a 3.86 ERA there, and before that had a 0.00 ERA in 10 innings with the Philadelphia Phillies. So a guy who's had some pretty good success so far this year.
Bases loaded here for Michael Russell in a 1-1 game with no outs. Cardullo at first, Jones at second, Alfonso at third. The first pitch from Cabrera. That one is a ball, 1-0.
And if he comes in here and Cabrera has some hard times finding the strike zone as well, if you're Michael Russell, a walk's as good as a hit here. That'll bring in a run. So you don't have to swing here and be the hero. There's just, there's nobody out, so you can be selective at the plate right now.
That would break the tie. We're tied at 1. The 1-0. Russell loses the bat. That one goes into the dugout of the Long Island Ducks. Luckily, everybody seems to be okay. That didn't connect with anybody.
Well, one thing's for sure, Cabrera throws a lot harder than Brian Mattis does, so the Rockers are going to have to mentally be able to catch up to the speed of that fastball now.
That's a strike, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Swing and strike.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily go all the way, so that's why, even though the bat went all the way. Here's another look at it for you as the bat gets away from Russell here. And he definitely did go all the way there, and the bat went a step further into the dugout, knocked the helmet off the wall there.
The Long Island team had to duck for cover.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad everybody was okay over there. The 1-1 to Russell. The ball 2-1.
Notice, though, he's missed outside both times so far, so that tells me he's overthrowing a little bit with the fastball. He came in juiced. He knew this was a huge moment, and he's got some adrenaline pumping. He's overthrowing the fastball, and if you're the Rockers, got to be paying attention to that right now.
I was just going to say that. He's fired up for sure, but he's trying to get the out here. The 2-1. Russell fouls this one back. So he's fired up, but how could you not have the adrenaline going here in a bases loaded situation with no outs in a tie game against the team that's right behind you in the standings? A 2-2 count. He's one strike away from getting that first out.
Interesting development in the Barnstormers Revolution game. Revolution have stormed back for 3 runs in the 5th. They just trailed 5-4 now.
Bases loaded. The 2-2 to Russell. He hits this one past a diving Freeman. It's going to score 1 in Alfonso. And they're going to hold Jones at third. So Alfonso will come in on an RBI single by Michael Russell to make it 2-1.
Yeah, Michael Russell just going with that pitch there on the outside and was able to drive it into right field on the ground past a diving first baseman there. Of course, that's Freeman. Just good job going with the pitch there. RBI single.
The Ducks were 1 strike away from getting out number 1 in a 2-2 count, but it's Russell with an RBI single. Hector Gomez comes up, and the bases are still loaded. That one misses for a ball, and if you are Ishmael Cabrera there on the mound, this is the most powerful part of the lineup. Gomez, Schaefer, and Lattimore all due up here with no outs.
With the bases loaded this year, the Rockers hitting .395, 4 home runs, and 95 RBIs. All of those totals lead the league in their respective categories. So this is a team that will do damage with the bases loaded. They don't miss their opportunities.
The 1-0 to Gomez. He hits this one foul down the right field side into the crowd. 1-1, no outs. Bases are loaded. Russell brought in Giovanni Alfonso, so it is 2-1. The Rockers would love more here with the bases loaded and no outs.
Obviously, that run will go on Brian Mattis's line. We can't close his book yet. He's responsible for 2 of the guys on base.
The 1-1. Gomez hits this one into right field. The catch is made, but it'll score 1. The throw to second. He is safe. And Matt Jones comes in to score. Mazzilli makes the catch. A sacrifice fly RBI for Hector Gomez. Russell moves over to second. 3-1.
And Cardullo goes over to third as well, so the Rockers still with 2 guys in scoring position. And that's just the first out of the inning. If you could score both of these guys and go into the 6th inning with a 5-1 lead, I think you got to be feeling pretty good.
even a 3-1 lead is great. I mean, the Rockers came in 1-1 here. Now it's a 3-1 lead.
I would usually agree with you on that. I am slightly concerned about the bullpen. I think they were pretty well used as that one misses down and in that New Britain series, and obviously you want to give them a little cushion as well.
Well, Bowden's at least going to go one more. He will have been sitting for a while now when he comes back, so that's never a benefit for a pitcher, but he will have the benefit of some extra run support. 2-0 count here for Richie Schaefer, 1 out. Quincy Lattimore, who already had a home run once tonight, he brought in that first run, a solo shot. He's on deck. Runners on second and third. First base is open. The 2-0, that is in there for a strike from Cabrera, 2-1 count.
Schaefer 0 for 1 today. He's walked and struck out. We talked about the fact that he has a pretty good eye at the plate. Cabrera's throwing strikes about 50% of the time today.
The 2-1. Schaefer hits this one high. Foul. 2-2 count, 1 out. Two, 1 out. Rockers lead 3-1. Runners on second and third. Schaefer at the plate. The pitch. That one missing. Outside. A 3-2 count. Another full count here for the Rockers.
And again, you know that Richie Schaefer's a guy that could add 3 runs with 1 swing, but also he's 1 pitch away from loading the bases for Quincy Lattimore, which is a very inviting proposition for the Rockers as well.
The 3-2 to Richie Schaefer, and that is going to be ball 4. Quincy Lattimore comes up to the plate with the bases loaded. The bases are loaded here for the second time this inning.
I'm very curious to see the defensive alignment the Ducks are going to go with here. I would expect the middle infield to be in double play depth. We'll see if they play the corners in, though, to try to cut down the runner at the plate, that being Steven Cardulo. Because now with the bases loaded, you have to run on anything hit on the ground at this point.
What an opportunity for the Rockers. Quincy Lattimore already hit a home run once tonight. So he's already scored once, shown off the power. That one in there for a strike. 0-1, 1 out. Three to 1 is the score. The 0-1 to Lattimore. That one inside. 1-1. The 1-1 to Lattimore. He foul tips that one back into the crowd. 1-2. That one hitting on the roof above us. One-two count, 1 out. Rockers lead 3-1. They'd love to add to that lead here with the bases loaded. Cabrera trying to get out of it and get his Ducks back into the dugout. The 1-2. Lattimore hits this one to second. They try to turn 2, and they do. And the bat came out of the hands of Quincy Lattimore as it broke, I believe.
It hit Steven Cardulo in the shin. He hobbled towards the plate. He was looking at the ball and didn't notice the bat hit him. We'll have to check on his condition when we come back, I assume.
So, yeah, we'll have to wait, and hopefully he's okay. 3-1, the Rockers take the lead here in the inning. There's the bat break, and there you see the handle in the hands of Hector Gomez, and there it is at the very end of so you see this. Hector's going to come up at the very side of your screen. You see Cardullo come up limping there as the bat ended up, they came into contact with each other. So, we hope Cardullo is okay. It's a 3-1 lead for the High Point Rockers. Bowdoin comes back out here in the top of the 6th. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kid McMahon, Kendrick Fruits here with you. Hector Sanchez at the plate here for the Long Island Ducks, who return to the game with great news. We'll wait for the pitch for Bowdoin. That one is in there for a strike. Steven Cardullo is back into the game. He jogged back out to the field, so he is back in the game at first base. The 0-1, and it's quickly 0-2 to Sanchez here. We report that after we saw the bat hit off of Cardullo's leg. Just unlucky there. You saw Lattimore swing and had the handle in his hands as the barrel and the rest of the bat kind of broke off, and just kind of a really unlucky kind of crazy accident you never see as that one just went over and hit him, but he's okay. Here's the 0-2. Sanchez staying alive, takes a swing at that one.
Nice job for Michael Bowdoin, knowing that he had run up a couple innings with some very high pitch counts. He's at 84 right now. This will probably be his last inning, but it'll be 6 innings, and if it stands right now, 0 earned runs. So another solid performance by Bowdoin here tonight if he can put up another 0.
And he'd be in line for the win.
Which, if we're being honest, he's a guy who really has had a chance to win more than once. When he's not been able to pick up the decision. That 1-2 record not indicative of his performances
the
at all.
0-2 in there for strike 3 as Sanchez will go down looking. That's a call, third strike.
I did not mean to talk over that. I didn't think that pitch caught the zone. It looked up and in to me.
I think Sanchez would agree with you on that one. Just a hunch I have.
Judging by his reaction, I would say so.
He went down looking there. Another strikeout for the Rockers. And Bowdoin, Debinson Romero, makes his way to the plate here. The first pitch to him. He's swinging as well, 0-1.
By my count, that is the 7th strikeout for Michael Bowdoin.
7 strikeouts on the night for Bowdoin, as Kendrick just told us. Quickly 0-2. I think his own record is safe tonight that he set. The single or the most strikeouts in a single game by a Rocker. It's 12.
Yep, matched by Edwin Carl last Friday.
That's right through 5 innings, which is unbelievable. A great performance by Carl.
He backed it up with 5 solid innings in his last start as well.
The 0-2, that one down for a ball, 1-2.
That was one of the games the Rockers had a lead late, but the bullpen wasn't able to keep it. But Edwin Carl was in line for the win for a good portion of that game. I believe that was Tuesday's game.
The 1-2, that one high, 2-2.
Next pitch will be number 90 for Bowden, so I think it's safe to assume that he gets through the 6th inning, his night's done.
The 2-2, that one is a ball, 3-2 count. The 3-2, this one hit high. Giovanni Alfonso tried to track it down and make the catch. And a miscue in center field to throw to second. It might be in time. They got him! Schroeder with the throw. Alfonso fired up about that one as the Rockers get out number 2. Let's take another look at that one as a little bit of a miscue out there, but maybe it was all according to plan as Schroeder makes the throw. Russell, the tag, got him at second base.
Yeah, blue pit there over the outstretched arm of Alfonso, but a heads-up job for Michael Russell knowing to cover second base, knowing that Romero was going to be coming around at full speed. So a good job there, heads-up play by the Rockers defense.
Yeah, the ball got away from Schroeder, but he recovered it quickly. This one hit right over the head of Cardullo. If he brought that in, that would have been out number 3. Fields is making his way to second as that one got down in the corner.
Still no action in the Rockers bullpen despite back-to-back base hits here in the top of the 6th inning. Obviously, that previous one to Romero scored a single. He's out 8-4, trying to extend that to a double. And the double from Daniel Fields there.
John Apostolo at the plate here. 2 outs in the inning. Some action now in the bullpen as a pitcher and the bullpen catcher have Gonzalez have both presented themselves, set up, and get ready to go.
It is a lefty. I believe it's Asher Tolliver. It's hard to see with the glare, but it is a left-handed pitcher.
The 0-1, that one, strike 2.
Bowden trying to make sure that they don't need to get into the bullpen here in the 6th inning.
Bowden would love to get through 6 here. The 0-2. Did he go? No, he did not. He held up, says Bill Worthington.
That's all right, though, if you're Michael Bowden. Obviously, you want to show him something different, try to get him to chase. You've seen what he's not willing to chase now. Now, if you're a pitcher, that helps you decide what you're going to come back to. Do you try to go with that one again, but maybe a little closer to the zone, or do you want to go up with a fastball to try to see if you can get him to elevate and chase a little bit? You have options here with a 1-2 count. If you're Michael Bowden, obviously you're a professional pitcher, and he knows that he can hit just about any spot he wants to.
The 1-2, he got him there for strike 3, looking a strikeout. And Bowden with a big strikeout there, his 8th on the evening. And that might be the end of the night for him, but what an ending it was. No earned runs through 6 innings, 1 unearned. Rockers lead 3-2 1. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. Cabrera back on the mound for the Ducks.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about...
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits with you at the ballpark here at BB&T Point. Miles Schroeder at the plate for the Rockers in the bottom of the sixth inning. The first pitch to him, he swings at it, hits it over to Freeman, who is there to make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth.
Well, we can close the book on Brian Mattis now. 4 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 runs, all earned. He is currently trending to pick up his first loss of the year.
Jared Mitchell makes his way to the plate now for the Rockers. The first pitch to him, that one is down for a ball, 1-0.
Mitchell's hitting just over 200 with the Rockers, but I feel like he's been victim of a lot of bad luck. He's hit the ball very hard. Most times he's come up to the plate. It just happens to go right to somebody.
The 1-0 to Mitchell. It's a 2-0 count, 1 out.
Big weekend tomorrow, Irish Heritage Night. Looking forward to those custom jerseys. They're very sweet looking.
Those are awesome.
As well as the fireworks after the game tomorrow as well.
The 2-0, that one hit foul, 2-1. And that one splintered the bat of Mitchell, so he's going to need a new piece of equipment here.
Then Sunday's back to school day. First 1,000 kids 16 and under getting a free Rockers drawstring bag courtesy of the Red Lion Hotel. It's also Family Fun Day and kids run the bases. So jam-packed weekend of promotions and jam-packed weekend of good baseball too.
Both games should be great. A great team in town in the Ducks. The 2-1 to Mitchell. That one outside for ball 3. I'm super excited for Irish Heritage Night. With a name like McMahon, you would never guess I'm Irish. My grandfather from Ireland. So we hope we get some traditional Irish music tomorrow. Some Irish Rovers, some Dubliners. I'm all fired up. I'm ready. The 3-1. This one fouled away, 3-2.
Well, hoping the luck of the Irish is on our side and we can pick up a win tomorrow. It's like Oakland A's Legend Vida Blue once said, in this game, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So if we have that luck of the Irish on our side tomorrow, we should be good to go.
The 3-2. Mitchell fouls this one away. The Rocker hitters tonight have done a really good job of staying in at bats for a super long time, battling and really making both pitchers work tonight. They've had some really long at bats, and that usually always benefits the batter.
Especially when you go from a soft tosser like Mattis to a flamethrower like Cabrera.
The 3-2 to Mitchell. That one missing for ball 4. And that'll put Mitchell on first base, 1 out. It'll bring Giovanni Alfonso to the plate.
Well, last time Alfonso surprised everybody with that push bunt single. You know that he's not going to catch anybody napping this time because they've seen him do it once.
And there is 1 out in the inning, so I don't know if you would want to use 1 out to get the man over to second, but they're playing not so close to him.
That's the thing is, if you bunt here, it's not a sacrifice attempt. You would try to be bunting for a hit, I think.
0-1, 1 out, and maybe they don't remember the last at bat because, like you said, you would think you would at least have it on the radar. Maybe they're thinking, now it's on our radar. We're not going to show our hand and go straight up. We'll play this game of poker with them here.
Mitchell's got some speed over there at first base.
Here's the 0-1 to Alfonso. That one missing. So 1-1 count, 1 out. And Alfonso seems to be looking like he's going to let it go here and swing away. He doesn't feel like he's going to pull out the bunt, but it didn't feel like he was going to last time. He caught us all off guard. So we'll have to wait again here. A 1-1 count, 1 out. Here's the 1-1. That one missing as well. Nobody in the bullpen in a 2-1 count here for Giovanni Alfonso.
Jared Mitchell, 24 steals in 29 attempts this year. 2 for 3 as a High Point Rocker in 12 games.
And that adds a lot to the Rockers because they steal bases, but not as much as some other teams do. So to have a guy like him really helps. Here's the 2-1. That one in there for a strike, 2-2.
Well, here's the funny thing about it. So before Mitchell gets here, Steven Cardullo has the team lead with 11. All of a sudden, Mitchell comes up, is signed, and not only does he jump in and assume the team lead, but he has it by 11 steals. He was double Cardullo at the time. In fact, he's double him again, 24-12 at this juncture.
2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 to Alfonso. He swings and misses here for strike 3.
Couldn't keep his bat back. It was an off-speed pitch after an at-bat of fastballs, and Alfonso wasn't able to stay back on the off-speed pitch.
2 outs in the inning. Matt Jones at the plate. 3-1 is the score. Runner on first in Jared Mitchell.
Jones has walked twice today, so he's a guy that shows good plate discipline, has a good eye at the plate. We'll see if he can extend this inning.
The first pitch to Jones, that one missing just down for a ball, 1-0. One 0 count, 2 outs. The 1-0, Jones a big swing there, 1-1.
So again, Michael Bowden's night looks to be over, and I would say I would qualify this as a bounce-back night. He had a couple of average starts his last 2, picked up losses in both of them, but he's done a real good job tonight.
The 1-1 to Jones. He takes a swing there, 1-2, 2 outs. Cabrera trying to get out of the inning and head to the 7th. Keep his Ducks within 2. High Point would love to add to the lead and make it a tough night for the Ducks to try to come back. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2. That one a ball, 2-2.
And great pitching matchups the rest of the weekend as well. Tomorrow, Joey Oreo has a 5-2 record, 4.8 or 2.87 ERA, goes off against Dominic DeMasi, who's 6-2, and then Brandon Beachy and Joe Van Meter on Sunday. So fantastic pitching duels expected in the next couple of days.
The 2-2 to Jones. That one missing for a ball. A full count. 3-2, 2 outs.
So with the count 3-2 here and 2 outs, obviously Jared Mitchell's going to start moving on first motion from Cabrera, which should score him easily on a double.
3-2, 2 outs. That one missing. Jones will walk. That'll put a runner on first and second here for the Rockers. That'll bring Cardullo to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, Matt Jones has not registered an official at-bat tonight, but he's walked 3 times, so if nothing else, he sure has helped the on-base percentage tonight.
He's doing something right down there. He's helped, he's got onto the on-base, as you said, and been a real problem at the plate for these pitchers because he's got a great vision and been able to get on.
I always felt like as a catcher, you should have one of the highest on-base percentages on the team because if nothing else, you should know what the umpire strike zone is better than anybody else in the lineup.
But it is ABS, so you're trying. You do have a better idea of what ABS is calling, but it's not just one umpire. One umpire's individual strike zone. That one comes in, and I thought it got Cardullo. Must have bounced off of the catcher in Sanchez. That one got away, and it'll move everybody over to second and third.
Yeah, it was a curveball that stayed up and in off of Sanchez's glove. Cardullo backed out of the way of that one, and Sanchez wasn't able to come up with it cleanly. So the Rockers all of a sudden have 2 more guys in scoring position. They're just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight, and this would be a huge opportunity for Cardullo to change that in a hurry.
They've done enough to have the lead, though. A 3-1 lead, 1-0 count, 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. That one a strike, 1-1.
Still looking to see whether that scored a wild pitch or a pass ball. I'm going to guess a pass ball.
The 1-1 to Cardullo. He held up 2-1.
Cabrera's, again, only thrown strikes on 50% of his pitches. 20 out of his 40 pitches have been strikes.
The 2-1. That one in there for a strike. 2-2 for Cardullo. Two count. 2 outs here for the Rockers. Cardullo at the plate. Jones at second. Mitchell at third. Cabrera on the mound. Wants to get his ducks out of this one. The 2-2. Cardullo tips it back. Stays alive.
Good job for Cardullo there. Again, same deal with the Giovanni Alfonso strikeout. You get a bunch of fastballs. It's so easy to get out ahead of the breaking ball. So we did a good job staying back on that one.
2-2, 2 outs in a 3-1 game. Here in the bottom of the 6th, here's the 2-2. Cardullo foul tips that one back.
That was scored as a pass ball, by the way, so a little bit of housekeeping there.
Thank you. Two outs.
Well, that's important, though, too, because if there's a one-base advancement here, that run, Jared Mitchell, is an unearned run at that point because it's a pass ball and not a wild pitch. So it is a big difference, the distinction of the two.
Strike 3 there as Cabrera gets that one past Cardullo for strike 3, the third out of the inning. And Cabrera and the Ducks keep it at 3-1. And excuse me? We're going to have 2-on-2 rocker ball? YouTube, stay tuned. we have a mini version of 2-on-2 rocker ball, which I'm sure is going to be confirmed to be a classic. We'll let you know when we come back. It's 3-1, the Rockers lead. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Class clown. Anyways, who's ready for some rocker ball tonight, fans?
No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Congratulations, Lucia.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at BB&T Point. New pitcher into the ball game here for the High Point Rockers. It's Asher Tolliver. The first pitch, that one in there for a strike. This is Clint Freeman, the batter here for the Ducks. The 0-1. Freeman hits this one sky high into left field. Lattimore and Alfonso are there. Lattimore makes the catch for out number one.
Asher Tolliver, 8-1 on the year, 2.68 ERA in 43 innings. He struck out 31 opponents, hitting just 221 off of him. And he has been every bit of the all-star that, again, he received that all-star nod this year. But kind of an interesting dynamic here, Kevin, in the fact that Asher Tolliver was a Long Island Duck until right up before the season started, was traded to the Rockers for a player to be named later, which is Seth Simmons, who's in the opposing dugout right now.
Vladimir Frias is the batter now. And Simmons actually out there as that first base coach.
Yeah, you're right.
So they're both out there, just in different uniforms and in different spots. The pitch here to Frias. That one missing for a ball.
The Rockers only completed that trade, about a month ago? It was a player to be named later, and Simmons.
Yeah, it was about July 7th, I think it was.
Because I got here on the 2nd, and he made one start.
Yeah, I think he was gone, a couple days later. That one fouled away there. 1-2, 1 out.
Bullpen was a little taxed on the road trip, so we'll see if they can find a little magic being here at home. Two blown saves are in the New Britain series.
The 1-2, a big swing there for strike three. And there are two outs here in the top of the 7th inning. So Tolliver has come out looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's come out pretty sharp here, getting two quick outs and certainly picking up right where Michael Bowden left off.
Darby Myers at the plate now. That one in there for a strike 1.
Myers 0 for 3, reached on the throwing error by Matt Jones earlier in the game, but has not successfully recorded a base hit in his 3 trips up.
The 0-1. This one a chopper to Giovanni Alfonso at short. He makes the throw to first. Cardullo is there for out number 3. It's stretch time here at the ballpark. We're to the bottom of the 7th inning. Rockers lead 3-1. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits here with you. Bottom of the 7th inning. Rockers lead 3-1. The first pitch to Michael Russell. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. Ishmael Cabrera, still the pitcher here for the Long Island Ducks. He's in his 3rd inning of work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We just had to take me out to the ball game. Here's the 0-1 to Russell. That one a ball, 1-1.
Russell is 1 for 3 today. An RBI single his last time up. Part of the Rockers scoring twice in the 5th inning to take the lead.
Russell, did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2. Worthington gave the strike signal down there at first base.
Good news, that storm system we were keeping up with earlier has practically all but fizzled out and has moved south of us, so nothing doing in terms of rain here tonight at BB&T Point.
The 1-2 to Russell. Russell showing bunt with 2 strikes. The throw to first, not in time. Romero was unable to throw him out. Russell beats it out for a single.
And again, it's a situation where the defense isn't expecting bunt, and Michael Russell lays this one down. Not a push bunt, but it's pretty hard, almost toward shortstop. It gets past the mound, and Romero makes the play as if he was charging a ground ball in from third base. Excellent job. Good location there on the bunt for Russell.
Hector Gomez fouls that one back into the net. 0-1.
Gomez up to 54 RBIs now on the year. Lattimore's solo home run was his 56th.
The 0-1 to Gomez. He swings and misses that one 0-2.
You know, it feels like between Gomez, Schaefer, and Lattimore, they're just all, you can mix them all up into 3, 4, and 5 spots in any particular night in any particular order, and you'll get production from them all no matter where you put them.
The 0-2, and that one came in and hit Hector Gomez. That'll put him on first base. Hector Gomez hit by the pitch there. So he will move over to first base. That one came in and got him on the shoulder. Glad to see he's okay as he makes his way down to first base. Michael Russell moves over to second base. Richie Schaefer at the plate now. He struck out once, walked twice. The pitch to Schaefer, that one in there for a strike, 0-1.
And obviously, if you're the Rockers, you want to add a little insurance here. But on a personal note, you know Richie Schaefer knows he's one home run away from 20.
The 0-1. And the swing there makes it 0-2.
The Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen right now.
The 0-2 to Schaefer. That one a ball, 1-2.
That is Brian Clark in the bullpen.
Schaefer swings. Foul tips it back into the net. Makes it a 1-2 count. One-two count for Schaefer. Runners on first and second. Russell at second. Gomez at first. No outs here. Here's the pitch. That one is down for a ball. 2-2 count in a 3-1 game. We're here in the bottom of the seventh inning. For Atlantic League standards and for home games here for the Rockers, Kendrick, this is a longer game than we're used to here for the High Point Rockers. Here's the 2-2. That one is a ball, a 3-2 count. No outs here in the bottom of the seventh inning.
Yeah, we're coming up here on 3 hours played already.
I think the average time for Rocker games is like 2:47, 2:45, somewhere around that area.
We're coming up. We're 2 minutes away from hitting that 2:45 mark.
The 3-2, Schaefer swings and misses. Out number one for Cabrera. Quincy Lattimore makes his way to the plate here for the High Point Rockers in the bottom of the seventh inning. There are runners on first and runners on second. 1 out, a 3-1 game where the Rockers lead. Runners on the move. The throw to third. Not in time. Both runners move over. Russell over there at third base. Gomez at second. And that takes away your traditional double play there with first base open.
For Russell, that's his 10th stolen base of the year. For Hector Gomez, his 15th.
That one missing as well. A 2-0 count now. The 1-0 was a ball. 2-0, 1 out. The pitch. That one missing as well. A 3-0 count, 1 out in a 3-1 game. And you have Miles Schroeder on deck. Behind him would be Jared Mitchell. The 3-0 to Lattimore. That's ball 4. And again, tonight the bases are loaded.
And the Rockers hitting just under 400 with the bases loaded. And I think Wally Backman's seen enough of Ishmael Cabrera. He's going to go to the bullpen here. They've got a righty who will come in here in just a matter of moments. But, Kevin, going back to that steal there, you know, it's not been anything dramatic, but the Rockers have, it seems to me, they've definitely started stealing more bases in the last couple of weeks. It really coincides with the addition of Jared Mitchell to the team.
It really does. And the Rockers looking for an opportunity here with the bases loaded to make something happen. And we'll stay here in the 7th inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rockers lead 3-1. I'll put you on the spot here, Kendrick. What's jumped out to you so far in this game for the Rockers? What's been the real difference so far in your eyes?
I think it's plate discipline. As I'm tallying up some of the statistics right now that we've seen from the Long Island pitchers, the Rockers have walked 9 times tonight. 4 walks from Cabrera, 5 walks from Brian Mattis. So I think the fact that, you know, they only have 5 hits right now, but they're getting guys on base. They're really patient at the plate, and they're working the pitch count. They're working walks, and I think that that's the big difference is they're putting pressure by putting guys on base without even swinging the bat.
And I'll agree to that, and I'll build on that. When you say plate discipline, great plate vision as well, and guys really having long at-bats, battling, really making pitchers work and making this, the evenings they're having longer and more challenging, a little bit more stressful, really making these Long Island Duck pitchers work. They're on the 3rd pitcher now here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Cabrera had to come out of the game here.
Yeah, this is Rob Rogers, 2-2 on the year, 3.98 ERA. This is appearance number 21 for him. 13 strikeouts in 20 innings of work for Rogers. So we'll see if the Rockers can get to him. So here's the good thing. His whip this year, 1.92, which means that he's allowing almost 2 base runners per inning. And with just 1 out here, it seems a good bet that the Rockers could potentially not just pick up a base runner, but since the bases are loaded, that would cause the run to score as well.
And this is a tough situation to be put in if you're Rob Rogers. But when you ask relievers, Kendrick, about these kind of situations, they're quick to tell you, that's what we live for in these big situations where it's stressful. And you got bases loaded here with one out in a 3-1 game. So there's a force at every base, but a great opportunity for the Rockers to build on this lead. The first pitch to Miles Schroeder, that one in there for a strike.
Obviously, if you're Schroeder, you want to pick up a base hit to score a couple, but if nothing else, a medium to deep fly ball should be able to score Michael Russell, and that would be a huge insurance run there to go up 3 on the Ducks this late in the ball game.
An 0-1 count, 1 out. Bases loaded. Here's the 0-1 to Schroeder. A swing, and it's quickly 0-2.
Schroeder looked a little late on that pitch.
0-2, 1 out. Bases loaded here for Miles Schroeder. The 0-2. Schroeder hits this one into center field. It gets down, and it'll score one. It's a single. Russell will come in to score. It's 4-1, 1 out, and the bases are still loaded.
Yeah, the Ducks are lucky that wasn't more. That took a high hop there at right field. It almost got past L.J. Mazzilli in right field, but a good job of Miles Schroeder staying with that ball and hitting it into right center field, and a good job by Michael Russell to not leave too early just in case.
Here comes Jared Mitchell to the plate. Here's another look at the Miles Schroeder single. That was an RBI that would score Michael Russell. Mitchell, first pitch swinging, hits this one foul. 0-1.
And obviously, that's just a foul ball, but it goes back to what we were talking about Jared Mitchell. He hits the ball really hard. It's just either A, foul, or B, right at somebody. He's had a little bit of tough luck here since donning the High Point Rockers colors.
The 0-1, and that one missing, 1-1. A ball gets loose from the bullpen and has rolled down towards Jared Mitchell. First base coach Billy Horn is all over it. 1-1 count, 1 out. And what an opportunity here for Jared Mitchell. I know it's a 4-1 game, but if he can get a hit here, it's going to score a run. That would really boost his confidence here. Hit back into that. He's hitting .254 on the year with 6 home runs, 33 RBI. So it's not like he's playing bad by any stretch of the imagination. Doing great on offense, great on defense as well. But as you said, his numbers in Sugar Land are a little bit higher than his numbers here in High Point. So we'd like to get back to where he was, and this is a great opportunity to do that here. The 1-2 to Mitchell. A 2-2 count, 1 out.
And plus, one run here would mean that the Ducks would need a grand slam to tie. 2 runs here, you start to get to the point where, okay, it'll take more than 4 hitters to reach base to get to us. That's when you start feeling really comfortable as a pitching staff.
The 2-2 to Mitchell. That one missing, 3-2. 1 out. So here we are. Ball 4 would bring in a run.
And I was about to say, if you're Rogers, you've got to throw a strike here because there's nowhere to put Mitchell.
And this is a dangerous situation for a pitcher because you have to throw a strike, but you don't want to throw anything too good. You don't want to walk in a run. So it's a tough spot. Here's the 3-2. Mitchell fouls it away. We'll reset and do it again. A 3-2 count. Hector Gomez at third. Quincy Lattimore at second. Miles Schroeder at first. Jared Mitchell at the plate. Giovanni Alfonso coming up behind him. 3-2, 1 out in a 4-1 game. Bases loaded for Jared Mitchell.
Rockers are looking for their 10th win against the Ducks this year. If they win today, they will win the season series no matter what. They'll be up 6 games with 5 to go. So absolutely huge here. The Rockers could pick up a tiebreaker on the Ducks, and that would be set in stone for the rest of the season.
The 3-2 to Mitchell. He foul tips that one. He'll stay alive.
Looks like Giovanni Alfonso about to hit that one on a hop into left field. You see the team's loose out there. Obviously, you feel good when you have the lead, especially against a team like the Ducks.
Three-two count, 1 out. Mitchell at the plate. Bases loaded. Here for the Rockers. Here's the 3-2. Mitchell hits this one to Romero. The throw home gets Gomez, but Mitchell will reach first. So the Ducks protect the run and get the out, but they don't end the inning with the throw to first. So 2 outs, bases loaded here for Giovanni Alfonso.
Yeah, nice job there. Mitchell was battling hard there, and he just put the ball in play. It obviously wasn't one that he got a lot behind, but after an 8-pitch at-bat, there's only so much you can do. You had 2 strikes you had to protect. So a good job there making Romero or forcing Romero to make the play, which he did there.
3-2 count, 1 out. Bases loaded here for Giovanni Alfonso. Score is 4-1. Here's the first pitch to Alfonso. A big swing there makes it 0-1. We're here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 4-1. The Rockers lead. The 0-1. That one missing, a 1-1 count.
Rogers throwing strikes a little bit of a higher clip than the last 2 Long Island Duck pitchers.
The 1-1. Alfonso fouls this one back. 1-2, 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Rogers has come in a tough spot. And, Kendrick, if you look at this and you only give up 1 run when you came in with the bases loaded, I think Ducks fans and Wally Bachman and the entire Ducks team will say, you know what, that's pretty good.
Yeah, obviously still a tall order with the quality of arms the Rockers have in the bullpen, but absolutely to feel like you'd still be in it with just a handful of guys needing to get on base to tie. Certainly.
The 1-2 to Alfonso. That one is strike 3. He goes down looking. A strikeout there, and Rogers gets out of the inning. The Rockers leave the bases loaded. Rockers lead 4-1. We head to the 8th inning. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Comfort of your seat. Simply visit the App Store for iPhone or Google Play, create your account, and start winning.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
Number 14, Brian Clark. Leading off for the Long Island Ducks.
Welcome back to BB&T Point for some High Point Rocker baseball against the Long Island Ducks. We're here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1, or top of the 8th inning, 4-1. The Rockers lead. Brian Clark, the new pitcher here for the High Point Rockers. The first pitch, that one in there for a strike, 0-1.
Clark 2-3 on the year, 2.45 ERA, 29 strikeouts in 33 innings. Yet another one of the all-star arms that the Rockers have in their bullpen.
The 0-1. That one came in and nearly got Fuentes. 1-1.
How about the whip for Brian Clark this year? 1.06, currently trending to be his best in 7 career professional seasons.
One, 2 count. The 1-2 foul back.
We'll take a final check of the Atlantic League scoreboard. The Skeeters with a 3-1 lead on the New Britain Bees in the top of the 4th inning. Blue Crabs actually just gave up 3 runs to the Somerset Patriots. And the Patriots threatening for more. It's 3-2 in the top of the 8th inning. So Somerset has taken the lead there. And then lastly, the York Revolution have just scored again, and they have come back from 5-0 to now lead the Barnstormers 6-5. They're in the bottom of the 8th there. So it's a good thing the Rockers came back, because both teams they needed to lose have come back and taken the lead in their games as well.
A 1-2 count, 4-1. Here's the 1-2. Did he get him? No, he did not. Ray Fuentes at the plate here, staying alive. We thank you for sticking around here and enjoying this one with us. A 2-2 count for Fuentes. Here's the 2-2 from Clark. Fuentes pops this one up. Cardulo's got it for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th inning. And Kendrick, if you're the Long Island Ducks, you know, there's no such thing as a 3-run hit with nobody on base. So you got to get guys on base. But like you said, going to be a tall order here when you have to face the all-star bullpen here of the High Point Rockers.
Not only that, but you're also thankful that you're not dealing with the York Revolution, because here the highest batting average on the – as that pitch is up, the highest batting average on the Ducks in the lineup is 277. Where if we saw the York Revolution, that would be the lowest batting average in the lineup, because they had pretty much everybody hitting 300 or higher.
The 1-0. That one in there for a strike. 1-1, 1 out.
Another thing worth noting, only 2 walks tonight given up by Rockers pitchers.
Here's the 1-1. Mazzilli, a big swing there, makes it 1-2.
And based on the guys who are in the Rockers bullpen, that's not going to change. So if you're the Long Island Ducks, don't expect any free passes. You're going to have to put the bat on the ball.
One, 2, 1 out. Here's the 1-2. A 2-2 count, 1 out. The 2-2. Mazzilli swings and strikes out there. Strike 3, Brian Clark with a second out of the inning as he gets Mazzilli to strike out there.
Rockers pitchers have retired 6 straight hitters for the Ducks, going back to the final out of the 6th inning with Bowden. Tolliver had a 1-2-3 7th inning, and Clark's retired the first 2 here in the 8th.
The first pitch to Hector Sanchez. It's a ball, 1-0. He did not go. Worthington confirms.
Sanchez 1 for 3. He struck out his last 2 trips to the plate.
2 outs here for the Ducks. They're trying to get something going here. The 1-0 to Sanchez. He swings 1-1. The 1-1. This one fouled back.
Left-hander is up in the bullpen for the Long Island Ducks. Which sometimes switching from lefty to righty could be, and vice versa, could be a tough thing as a hitter as well. Obviously, you talk about differences in release points.
The 1-2, that one down low for Sanchez, 2-2.
But I think this would be a big statement win for the rest of the weekend. We talk about how big this series is, and the Rockers can win the season series tonight. So, you know, that would deflate you if you're the Ducks a little bit here.
The 2-2 hit on the ground to shortstop. Giovanni Alfonso throws it over to first. Cardullo is there and makes the play for out number 3 here in the 8th inning. We into the bottom of the 8th. The Rockers will hit one more time, they hope. They lead 4-1. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits with you here at BB&T Point, bottom of the 8th. Rockers batting. Matthew Jones, the first pitch is a ball, 1-0. We have a new pitcher here for the Long Island Ducks. Who might that be?
This is Brandon Sherman, who is a rookie. This is his first ever professional season. This is his 4th appearance. He's walked 4 guys in 2 innings, so control could be an issue tonight.
That one in there for a strike, 1-1. He has a very unique delivery.
Yeah, he definitely has a little deception there. He kicks the leg up high and hides the baseball behind that leg, and then all of a sudden it seems like he just slingshots it towards the plate.
The 1-1. And that one is a ball, 2-1. He was born in 95 in September. So I think that puts him at 23.
Yes, he is 23.
Yes, he's 23. So he's around the same age as Frank Nigro, who also is in his first year of professional baseball. The 2-1, Jones fouls that one, 2-2.
Rockers have Trevor Frank in the bullpen, which, remember, Ryan Kelly was placed on the 7-day injured list back on August 9th. So Trevor Frank has assumed the closer role in his absence, picked up a save in the New Britain series, so he has 12 on the year now.
The 2-2. Jones fouls it away. I like his style, though, Sherman. I like his delivery. He's got that blue glove out there. That's pretty cool.
He definitely gets your attention.
Yeah. He's got a 2-2 count here. Here's the 2-2 to Jones. Jones hits this one high and far into center field. And did it come back? It didn't go. I thought it was a home run for sure. That's going to get down just for a double.
Matt Jones, just one home run looking for his first home run. I'm sorry, I thought that one was about to be it. That ball took off of his bat.
Let's run that one back for you here, and let's take another look. Jones gets, I thought, all of it here.
He thought he got all of it, too.
Here comes the ball. It's coming down here, and that looks like it leaves, but it doesn't.
What happens is it hits.
Yes, it comes down and lands right underneath the fence there. It came straight down. How did that stay in the ballpark? Because it didn't even bounce off the wall. It went straight down and went underneath the wall.
Yeah, it nestled itself down there.
No outs. Cardullo at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him, and he fouls that one back a far way.
Well, even though it's not a home run for Matt Jones, you feel good. You walked 3 times tonight. You've been struggling some at the plate, but again, you have that good plate discipline, that good vision, and all of a sudden a booming double there. So if you're Matt Jones, maybe start to turn a corner.
The world's longest double there. Cardullo fouls that one away, 0-2. The 0-2 to Cardullo. That one just misses. 1-2. Runner on second and Jones. No outs.
We're approaching 3 hours and 15 minutes into this ball game.
The 1-2. Cardullo fouls that one away. You said 3 hours, 15 minutes?
We're 3 hours and 12 minutes
12.
at the moment.
Okay. And we still got another half inning to go.
6 outs left in this ball game.
At least another half inning. You never know what can happen in the top of the ninth.
Trevor Frank's going to happen in the top of the ninth.
And the bottom of the eighth not over here yet. We don't know what's going to happen in this one. No outs. Here's the 1-2 to Cardullo. He fouls that one away. Long at-bats have been the story tonight. And when you add all that together, that'll help prolong the game. Because you look at the score, and you might be confused about why it's taking a long time, but it's been these at-bats that these Rockers have been doing a really good job of making the pitchers working their pitch counts up, and each at-bat has felt like it's been a minimum of 5 pitches. The 1-2, Cardullo hits that one high, and that might actually leave play. It's foul. It will.
You see Hector Sanchez laughing and joking with some of the players in the Rockers dugout as he heads back to the plate.
He's been keeping it light. I've been seeing him having like a running commentary with those guys.
Well, I mean, think about it. He's a guy who's a 6 or 7 year veteran in the major leagues. You have 2 World Series rings. I mean, you've been at the pinnacle of professional baseball, so why not keep it light? You're playing a child's game, and you've been very successful at it.
The 1-2, Gardulo strikes out there, strike 3. And he probably knows a lot of these guys, been in the league for a little while and been around in the MLB for as long as he was. So I'm sure he knows a lot of these guys. So he's probably friendly with some of them. So wants to, keep it light, say hello.
And how important was his spot with the San Francisco Giants? We talked about Cody Stanley being the backup for Yadier Molina in St. Louis. Stanley, of course, the catcher for the Skeeters, but Sanchez was the backup for Buster Posey on not 1 but 2 World Series teams.
And it's hard to catch every single day, so, he had to come in and help him out. One-0 count here for Michael Russell. 1 out, runner on second and Jones. The pitch to Russell, that one a ball, 2-0.
Jones at second, obviously not much of a threat to run, so they're really not paying him a whole lot of attention over there at second base.
Everybody will reset here in a 2-0 count with 1 out. Russell pops this one up. Freeman is there. Can he grab it? He lost it. He dropped it.
I think Clint Freeman just lost it in the lights. There's not a whole lot to say about that one. He had a decent amount of range there, or had a decent ways to go, but the ball just sits up there and hangs up there, and all of a sudden he realizes he's out of position. Just dropped the ball.
So runners on first and second, 1 out. Hector Gomez at the plate now, and a chance to really add some insurance. The first pitch to Gomez, that one missing for a ball outside, 1-0.
We mentioned the Long Island Ducks, the first team in the league to 60 wins. This would be number 60 for the Rockers. It would tie the Ducks with most wins in the league this year.
The 1-0. That one down for a strike as Gomez swings at it, 1-1. Sure. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, let's be real. That's no small feat, especially for a first-year team. Pick up 60 wins and to do it just one day behind the team that has the best record in the league.
Having a winning record would be a big deal in your first year, let alone to have 60 wins at this point and be very much in the pennant race here. And as they try to win the second half and get into the playoffs, if they win here tonight, they put themselves back into first place over the Ducks. The 1-1. Gomez hits this one over the head of Romero. It's going to get down. It's going to score both runs as Jones comes in. Russell comes in. An RBI double for Hector Gomez as 2 score to make it 6-1.
Yeah, Gomez just lines it down the left field line. Obviously, Michael Russell, an unearned run scoring from first base, but unearned, earned, it doesn't matter. It still counts on the scoreboard, and Gomez absolutely smacked it for his 3rd RBI of the game.
Richie Schaefer comes in, a runner on second in Hector Gomez. 2-run score here in the bottom of the 8th. Jones and Russell come in.
So here's what I'm curious about. Still with 1 out, there's time to start getting a new guy up in the bullpen. With it no longer being a save situation, will we still see Trevor Frank in the top of the 9th?
A big swing there from Schaefer makes it 0-1. Sherman has one of the biggest leg kicks I've ever seen. He has the highest leg kick I've ever seen. He brings that leg almost all the way over his head. A swing there makes it 0-2.
So Schaefer is struck out there for out number 2. That's his third strikeout tonight.
Quincy Lattimore comes up to the plate here with 2 outs. A man on second and Hector Gomez.
Lattimore 2 for 3, a home run and a single, an RBI and a walk. So he's had a very eventful day.
The pitch to Lattimore. He hits this one on the ground to Romero. Romero makes the throw over to first for out number 3. We head to the top of the 9th as the Rockers lead 6-1 thanks to a 2 RBI double from Hector Gomez. We head to the 9th inning as the Rockers look to close this one up and win the ball game. But we have the top of the 9th to go to see what's going to happen. Trevor Frank is indeed making his way here to the mound. Frank and the Rockers try to shut the door on the first place Ducks. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits with you here at the ballpark. It's a 6-1 lead for the High Point Rockers. Demonson Romero at the plate here. Trevor Frank, the new pitcher. The first pitch from Frank is in there for strike 1.
Frank has turned into one of the Rockers' most reliable relievers through the second half of this season. 3-3, 3.32 ERA. He has 12 saves this year. He's thrust back into that closer's role with the injury to Kelly. This is not a save situation, but we certainly know that Trevor Frank knows how to get it done in the 9th inning.
The 0-1 to Romero. That one down for a ball, 1-1.
Was trying to get through everything quickly to not step on your toes.
No worries. Good job. Frank here on the mound as he tries to help the Rockers secure the win. The 1-1 from Frank. That one down for ball 2-2-1. I mentioned as we went to break that the Ducks are in first place. They are. However, only by a half a game. So if the Rockers win tonight, that would put them ahead in first place. And then they would have Saturday and Sunday to try to extend their lead. Here's the 2-1. This one hit to Giovanni Alfonso, and he throws it from the ground as that one was hit towards him and he fell backwards as he caught it.
Yeah, it looks like he's almost slipped or something out there on the turf as it was hit hard, but it almost looked like the force of the ball just knocked him straight down. Really odd-looking play over there at shortstop. It'll be an infield base hit, though, for Romero.
Here's another look at it. This one is hit on the ground.
He was already falling before the ball got to him, so I'm thinking maybe he planted weird or something. He had already fallen at that point.
This one, a ball, the first pitch here to Daniel Fields. It's a 1-0 count, 6-1. The 1-0 from Frank. That one in there for a strike, 1-1.
Well, if you're the Rockers, you feel like you've got a good shot at a double play. Two guys who aren't necessarily the fleetest of foot at first base and at the plate. And if you're the Ducks, you're not going to run here. You don't want to make outs on the base paths. So Rockers looking to turn two and really shut things down here in the ninth inning.
The 1-1 to Fields. This one down for a ball, 2-1. No outs here in the top of the ninth inning. The Rockers lead 6-1.
We're a couple minutes away from 3.5 hours in this ball game. Not everyone's going to be fast. You're going to have one of these every now and then.
The 2-1 from Frank, make it 2-2. After a swing there, Fields doesn't connect. 2-2, runner on first.
You mentioned the long bus ride that the Ducks have, and certainly that may play into it a little bit.
The 2-2, Fields goes down swinging there, strike three. Yeah, I mentioned that to you off the air, but in between innings. But, yeah, both teams had long bus rides. You had the Rockers coming from New Britain, which is like an 11 to 13-hour bus ride, and then you had the Ducks coming from the north as well, I think from Long Island.
The Ducks, yeah, they just played the Revolution in Long Island.
This one is hit into center field. Schroeder is there for to catch out number 2, so 2 outs here in the ball game. I think this will be the longest game in BB&T Point history so far.
I wanted to mention that last strikeout by Trevor Frank, the 11th of the team tonight.
It's been a good performance and one the Rockers can be proud of, especially if they're able to close it up right here.
And it's one the bullpen needed after struggling a little bit on the road to have the bullpen come in and throw 3 shutout innings here.
The runner will move over to second. This is Clint Freeman at the plate here in the top of the ninth. A 1-0 count, 2 outs.
Rockers obviously weren't worried about Romero. They're just trying to focus on the final out here at the plate.
You get the out, game's over. The 1-0 from Frank, that one up high, 2-0.
despite the length of this game, the fans stayed for the most part.
Yeah, it's been
a lot of people still here.
A very loyal group. The 2-0, that one misses, make it 3-0. The crowds have been great all year long, and this Rocker team has really been embraced by the city of High Point this year. And if you're watching tonight, you're sticking with us here. Is it the clock strikes 10 o'clock? Come see us this weekend. We got 2 more, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Here's the 3-0. That one in there for a strike, 3-1. Trevor Frank and the Rockers would love for Clint Freeman to be the last batter that comes up to the plate tonight.
A reminder, we're going to be on My 48 both tomorrow and Sunday.
That's right. 6:30 tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Sunday. The 3-1. Freeman hits this one up into center field. Miles Schroeder catches it for out number 3. The Rockers win the game and take the first game of this series. Rockers beat the Ducks 6-1. And the Rockers are now in first place in the Atlantic League, or in the Liberty Division.
And the Atlantic League. They've tied the Ducks for most overall wins on the season as well, so certainly you can say that.
Yeah, number 1 in the Liberty Division here tonight with this win, and their 60th win of the season in what was a longer game, but one that the Rockers definitely needed and one they're going to look back on and feel really proud of. It all started with a big start from Michael Bowden, and then the Rockers were able to get things going after a solo shot by Quincy Lattimore.
Yeah, Bowden today, 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Clearly a bounce-back performance from the last couple of starts that he had. And it took the offense a little while to get going, but they finally did. And I mentioned this at one point, I think in the 8th inning, the plate discipline that the High Point Rockers showed today was a huge deal. If you look at this lineup, Cardullo walked twice, Schaefer walked twice, Lattimore walked once, Mitchell walked once, Jones walked 3 times. So the plate discipline was phenomenal tonight.
We're going to go down to the guy who got it all started. Brittany has Quincy with him.
Quincy, big bomb in the 4th to tie it up. How did it feel to put your team on the board?
At that moment, big. We weren't really getting any runs early. We had some scoring opportunities. So to tie the game right there was really big for us.
Another solid outing from Michael Bowden, who secures the win tonight. What does this pitching staff do for the confidence of this team?
It gives us a lot of confidence that we can get ahead. Bullpen has been great this year for us. We get to the 6th, 7th inning, we feel like we can go ahead and bring it home. So a lot of confidence.
You guys take game 1 of a crucial series at home after being on the road. How do you carry the momentum throughout the rest of the weekend?
We just take a game at a time. This is a big series. The team that's right there with us, so we know every game is important. And just come out, prepare, and give it our all, and hope we come away with a series win.
Congratulations on the win, Quincy.
Thank you, Brittany.
Fans, the party doesn't stop after the game ends. Head on over to Sweet Old Bill's, the official post-game.
Another great interview by Brittany. She does such a great job, so we thank her for that. And grabbing the king, Quincy Lattimore, King Q, with a great interview. And, he was fun to hear from, and I agree with everything he said. He helped the Rockers in a huge spot there. That home run really helped kick things off, and the Rockers never looked back.
No, they sure didn't. And if you look back at, some of the big moments of the game, I think that was a big momentum shifter in the fact that, you're down 1-0 and they're having a hard time getting to Brian Mattis, but as soon as he hits that home run, it feels like a whole nother ball game, and you feel like it's just a matter of time until the Rockers offense gets going, and that's exactly what happened. But I want to highlight another point is the fact that is the 10th win this year the Rockers picked up against the Long Island Ducks, which means that they have won the season series against the Ducks. Even if they lose the next 5 games, they win the season series 10-9.
As you said, even if they lose, they have even if they lose the rest, they have the tiebreaker, they have the series. So let's take a look at the highlights of how the Rockers got win number 60. It started with Michael Bowden. And then Stephen Cardullo helping out as well on defense.
Yeah, really nice job there. Bowdoin did run into a little bit of trouble in the top of the third inning. That ground rule double, good effort by Lattimore, just not able to pick it up. But they were able to get things going, but not before this bunt here by the Ducks. Matt Jones throws the ball into left field, and that allows the runner to score. Ducks lead.
And then the guy we just talked to, we just heard from, Brittany did a great interview with this guy right here, Quincy Lattimore. He has a solo shot to tie it up at 1, and we were all tied up 1-1, and the Rockers weren't done after that. Here's a great look at a defensive play by Steven Cardulo. We already showed you one. Here's another one, another great play by him. So it was offense and defense helping spark this comeback for the High Point Rockers. And Michael Russell was ready to go with the bases loaded.
Yeah, just hit that one the opposite way, was able to punch it in for a base hit. Rockers take a 2-1 lead at this point, and Hector Gomez says, hey, I can help a little bit more with that. A sacrifice fly to right field makes it 3-1. Matt Jones comes in to score, and starting to feel pretty confident if you're the Rockers at this point.
No, you absolutely are, but this is a really good Long Island Ducks team, and if you can add extra, you want to try to add extra here. As Schroeder flies out there to add another one. And then Matt Jones thought he had a home run here. Look at this one. It goes all the way to the wall, and then it stays underneath the wall, just getting down for a double. But he'd get some help from his guy Hector Gomez, who would bring him in with a big-time RBI double right here.
That one would score a pair, and the Rockers would take a 6-1 lead, and that's where things ended up here tonight.
So a Rocker win, 6-1. As the Rockers celebrate, they are in first place. Trevor Frank came in and helped get the job done. There's Billy Horn. He says, take that one home with you.
And the Rockers can take that one home, a 6-1 win. They have won 4 in a row now against the Ducks, going back to that sweep in Long Island a couple weeks ago. And, you know, it's big to jump back into first place. It's big to win the season series against the Ducks. But also don't forget, this is a team that had lost 3 in a row, so you just snap a 3-game losing streak as well. And, you know, this team loves playing at home. There's no secret about it. They talk about it all the time. They come back home, and they get the job done.
And, lads, we'll see you tomorrow with a nice little game tomorrow, Saturday, August 17th. Bring the lads out for a nice little Irish Heritage Night. That's what you got to look forward to. Irish Heritage Night, the Rockers are going to be wearing their green jerseys. I hope we get some Irish Rovers. I hope we get some Dubliners going. I'm ready. I'm going to be singing Black Velvet Band all night. 6-1, the Rockers win. Was that good? Did I live up to potential?
Well, I tell you what, my favorite thing is bangers and mash, so I'm hoping we bang some over the wall and mash the Ducks into oblivion.
Wow, that is strong. You can tell we've been on the air for nearly 4 hours. We thank you so much for staying with us tonight. You got any final thoughts for us as the Rockers get a big win? They have a chance to go for the win of the series tomorrow on My 48 at 6:30. It'll be on YouTube and Spreaker as well. We talked to Jamie Key before the game. He said it's so important to win home series, and they have an opportunity to do that again tomorrow and continue to be in first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Mattis takes the loss today, drops to 0-1. Michael Bowdoin picks up the win, improves to 2-2. Before the game, Kevin, we talked about the fact that these are probably your top 3 starting pitchers for the High Point Rockers. Michael Bowdoin sets the stage tonight. We'll give it to Joe Van Meter tomorrow to see if he can keep things going with that chance, like you mentioned, to win the series. The Rockers tonight played discipline was the story of the game. 9 walks, which allowed them to just put pressure on the Ducks. They're going to have tough starting pitchers to go against both tomorrow, and on Sunday. But again, the Rockers doing a lot of things right offensively. They played good ball tonight. It just felt like a good all-around win, and I think this team is right where they need to be going into tomorrow.
Absolutely. They have a chance to go for that win tomorrow. Rockers win, the series win tomorrow, and then if they do that, they'd love to sweep on Sunday. We'll give you the pitching matchup real quick for tomorrow. It'll be Joe Iorio and Dominic Damasi for the High Point Rockers, and then it's Beachy versus Van Meter on Sunday. So 2 more great pitching matchups to be excited about. That's all we have for you tonight. Rockers win tonight 6-1. Then we'll see you tomorrow. Irish Heritage Night, 6:30. Rutgers are going to be wearing really fun jerseys and green fireworks and clover medallions, courtesy of Pennyburn. So a lot of things to be excited about. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Rockers win tonight 6-1. Pre-game coverage starts on YouTube and Spreaker at 6:15. My 48 will be live at 6:30. For Kendrick Fruits and our great crew down the line in the control room and all of our great camera people, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits. We say goodbye. Rockers win 6-1.